Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for stuff. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying back out of church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far on this Saturday night. Busy night tonight with the Pistons playing, and also we got some playoff football going on, boss. I know you probably plugged into that, but what's going on with you over there?
Oh, I feel good. Today was a good day. I got to celebrate with my friend for her baby shower, then come home. And I'm not a Broncos fan, but it has been fun seeing Denver get excited about a team. So for the Broncos to pull out that win, which I don't know if anyone saw, but they just announced that Bo Nix broke his ankle.
I heard. I'm sick because I was pulling for Josh Allen to get a ring this year.
Oh, yeah, I know. The Bills. I mean, I saw he was emotional. Tough, but yeah, I'm just pulling for Stafford to eliminate Ben Johnson and get him out of there.
It's gonna be tough in the cold, man, but we'll see. Hopefully they can pull that out.
Stafford's used to the cold. He was Detroit for a long time. It's everybody else.
No.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. True. All right. Anyway, we see y'all in the chat, man. See y'all celebrating this victory as you guys should. There is a poll that is up. Y'all know the drill. Who gets the belt tonight? And we got some candidates. Mm-hmm. And we will get to that later on in the show. And we got another one coming up after that. So should have a little bit of fun tonight. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit us with the comments, man. Let us know what's going on, what you saw in this game. As far as this game tonight, boss, the Pistons pick up a dub. They win their second straight, beating the Pacers at home tonight. BTA, man, straight BTA, really? 121-78. Mm-hmm. And they are the first team, boss, to reach 30 wins in the Eastern Conference, now at 30-10 overall.
Yes.
That was pretty impressive to see. Go ahead.
First team in the East to win 30, and then second team overall in the league. Again, behind the Thunder, who obviously are a very talented team. They're neck and neck right now in their game. But yeah, it's nice. It feels good. 30-10 is a nice number. I'm proud of them. So proud of them. It's kind of crazy. Again, when you reflect on what we've been through. And today, it seemed like a gimme, but we never know. Some teams that faced our deep bench thought it was a gimme, and it wasn't. But it turned out to be, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the injury report, it was clean. No player on the injury report tonight, which is a great thing when you are trying to stack wins like the Pistons are trying to do right now. So that was good to see. Yeah, it's great. The Pistons they're in a good spot right now. They're healthy. They're extending and stretching out that lead in the Eastern Conference. You know, they're winning games. Appreciate you, Marvin. It's a great time to be a Pistons fan right now, man, for sure. The Pacers, though, however, are kind of going in the opposite direction. We are the top team in the East. They are the bottom team in the East. I think their record is like inverted almost with ours, like 10-33-2 or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
So that's tough for them.
It's kind of crazy, you know. I understand resting some guys. If you guys were here last show, you heard me talk about who I thought would be a threat. Siakam, Nesmith, Nembhard, McConnell. All those guys sat out tonight, some with injuries, some with rest. Yep. I think it was a curious choice by I know we're number one, but they've been on kind of a roll. They won their last 4 or 5. They seem to be connecting. So I thought it was kind of interesting. And personally, I like to see those guys play. And I think they usually give us a hard time. But that was that was something else. I had my worries about Jarris Walker. Got a little bit hot in the second half, but nothing crazy. Furphy and Huff, but they really just didn't pull out for their team, which again just makes me really appreciate our deep bench and what we've been able to do this season.
Yep, 100%. Kevin says 30-10. Wow, Water definitely finding its level after 30 straight losing 30 straight in a row a couple years ago. Isn't that crazy? You know, Kay said it. We're not that bad, and in the short period of time, we're seeing just how good this team can be with the right infrastructure for sure. So you mentioned it, but they had a lot of guys out at the Pacers. Pascal Siakam, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, TJ McConnell, on top of already missing Ben Mathurin, Obi Toppin, along with Hallie for the rest of the year. So this was definitely a game because that's entirely basically their whole rotation for the most part. So and it was also the second night of back-to-back for them as well. So this was definitely a game the Pistons, had no business losing, which they took care of the business to their credit. And I was glad to see them actually just take care of business and not play around with this game, boss.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, like Kevin says here, under 80 in today's NBA is pretty serious defense. Exactly. Yep. Great point. And, I honestly, their free throws is what really, really killed them. But, I appreciate that JB just, still expected the guys to play their game. And we did.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get to this poll, man. So you guys know the drill. Who gets the belt tonight? You guys say, and we had to kind of condense this again because YouTube only gives us 4 slots. And when you got a deep team like the Detroit Pistons, like we have, we're going to have nights pretty often where there aren't enough slots for all these guys. So we had to combine a little bit. So we went with Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Javonte Green, and Ron Holland and or Karis LeVert. And you guys went with the latter. 40% for Ron Holland and Karis LeVert, 33% for Javonte Green, 17% for Cade Cunningham, and 9% for 10% for Jalen Duren. Who was your player of the game, boss?
Oh, man. I think for me, it's Javonte Green. He went out there and he put up, 4 of 6 threes. I just think, when you match a guy like Duncan Robinson in that stat, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, it was a tough one. I know LeVert had some pretty egregious mistakes early on, but then he kind of it up. I saw a lot of good from him after that. So I could see why people want him.
Duncan Robinson too, man. Like Chuck's right. I forgot about him too. Like it's so many guys. So if y'all thought Duncan too, I mean, I'm mad at that as well, for sure.
Exactly. Well, that's like Duncan. We talked about it. Duncan, Cade, and Green all finished with 16 points. And again, like no shade to Duncan because this was another great game from him back to back, really. But I think just Javonte Green putting up the same numbers as him just speaks volume for what he's doing out there. Again, Mr. What you need if Chris is here. So that's just kind of how it was for me. So I would go with him just because we know he can make the threes. And I think he was frustrated not making some late ones last game. So to see him come back and bounce back and do that was cool.
Yep. Gumby says Detroit moonwalked on Indy like Motown MJ. I love it. Definitely, man. But it was, you could have went any direction you really wanted. I also thought Javonte had a great bounce back game for not being able to shoot well last game. So we may condense that poll and throw another one up there, guys, maybe with some different guys to make it a little bit easier. But those are results as of right now. So we'll come back to that. Boss, let's get to some initial thoughts, man. There's a lot you could talk about in this game. What was it from tonight that stood out to you?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I'll be honest. I was surprised that we didn't see more bench guys. But then we did check the box score and it looked like guys like Chaz and Tolu weren't there. So, because I was kind of like, oh, well, coach brought Chaz in a closer game and he finished great. Like I would hope, I thought we'd see more from him. I thought we would see more of Ivy a little earlier and then also Jenkins. But, they still played substantial minutes. But I think this was more of like coach just challenging the team not to go into some kind of trap game, just challenging the team to play their style of basketball. And we saw some mistakes in terms of playing against the Pacers team that, first of all, they looked like they didn't play together much, these lineups, and they were new names. Some of them probably was their first minutes on the court, substantial at least. I think, like, again, we got in some foul trouble, stuff like that. That's where it can get a little bit glitchy, messy. So it was a challenge in its own way. So I see why coach did that. And I also was just really happy to see Cade hitting his shots again after some bad ones the other night, especially with his wrist. And I feel confident going into Monday against the Celtics. So
for sure. Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, there's always something you can critique after a game, right? But I'm going to choose not to really try to be critical tonight at all. Right. There's always something you can find, right? There's always room for improvement. But after leading this game for close to 40 points for about 50% of the game, pretty much, it's not really much that you can really be too upset about. So I'm going to kind of try to refrain from doing that. Y'all know I'm always nitpicky because I'm always looking for this team to get better because of how good they can be. But I'm just going to give them some luck tonight for the most part, man. I was really proud of what I saw. They did what they were supposed to do. This is one of those games that a lot of people deemed a possible trap game, right? Where you kind of overlook your opponent, but they didn't do that. We saw last game, and I was hoping to see last game what we saw tonight after a 4-day layoff, right? Just come out, even though Phoenix is a better team, to be fair, right? Not even comparing the teams. I'm just saying from the aspect of the Pistons, from their standpoint of how they played, right? And they were a little sluggish last game. Wasn't the case tonight. They really came out tonight. They were sharp. They looked fresh. And with the Pacers being down so many guys, boss, I just wanted to see them get out the gate running, like gas the Pacers out. They're not deep already, so they have less bodies to shift in and out of the rotation. So what that means is if you can run them out of the building, they'll get tired pretty quickly, right? And they tried to fight, but you just saw they just didn't have enough. But yeah, great start, man. Great start playing Pistons style of basketball, defense, offense. I think they had a 31-11 first quarter lead. So holding them to 11 points is very, very impressive. Despite their shooting woes, despite being down, you still got to go out and play. And they did that. They were stuck on 2 points, I think, with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2 points.
Yeah. They only, and that was one field goal. And then even when they got to 3 points, that was a free throw, know? And so it was, again, their shooting woes was part of it, but also that just goes to show how difficult it is to score against our defense. So and we had good defense in the first quarter for sure. It's just, again, I respect the fact that, we didn't, sometimes teams just sink down to other levels, make silly mistakes. We saw a little bit of that tonight in certain individuals and just cleaned it up. Like, it's still a game. I still have to play. It was, just nice to just kind of be like, no, this is like, we're still going to make you work hard for it.
Yeah, exactly. Still got to work hard. Exactly. And I think the Pacers finished with 25 first half points. 25 first half points. That's that. Like, so they gave up 11 in the first and they gave up 14 in the second. That's great. I think that tied a franchise record. I think it's only happened 2 other times, right, in the history.
It tied the record. The only one that I heard for the first one for franchise at least was the 91 Bad Boys team, which in those days, yes, 25 is a lot because you weren't scoring 100 points a game in the 90s. It was a little bit lower. So it's still, I think
that's still low though.
Yes, of course. You know what I mean? I think it's more impressive today in a very
100%
driven game
100%.
Where teams are regularly hitting 100. So yeah, I'm curious. That was against the Wizards, which is funny. It feels like history is repeating itself, but it makes me want to go watch that game. The Bad Boys did,
for sure. And like we talked about, boss, like we talked about it before, how in the past they would get up in the first half and allow it to be a game, taking the foot off the gas in the second half and making it a game, having your starters having to play when they shouldn't have to. But not tonight, man. They sustained it. They didn't allow the Pacers to get back into it. They kept their foot in gas. I think they went up 46 points at one point. And they had it was funny. The Pistons, there was a time when the Pistons had 86 and Indiana had 43. So our lead was as big as their total score. We had literally just doubled them up.
We doubled them up at half too. We had doubled them. We had over them at half because I think what was the halftime score? It was like 26 to 50 or no, 25. You said it 25 to 50 something. So like 59. So that's bad.
So that's great, man. And we talked about it already, but like this, just the Pistons not playing down to their competition to me was what I was happy with. Right? They didn't play around. It's easy to relax when you're playing an inferior team. You look at the injury report, you see who's not available, right? But we talked about this is the NBA. Anybody can be beaten on any given night. So we've seen young teams over the years, on paper, they have a tendency to win games they shouldn't and lose games they shouldn't, right? Just playing up and down to that competition level. But I felt tonight the Pistons took a small step forward just as far as their approach, right? Just as far as just not messing around, dominating the game from beginning to end, right? Wire to wire. And even though the Pacers aren't a good team right now, the Pistons still show that they're trying to treat each game the same way, right? And focusing more on themselves and how they approach the game more so than who's available, who's not, who they're playing to avoid these trap games, right? I would have been disappointed if this was a game in the third quarter. You know what I mean? Where it gets close to being under double digits. And now, when it hits that point when you're up, it can get a little spooky, right? So I'm just glad they took care of the business, man. And that's a sign of growth on their part from a young team.
Yeah, definitely. And I completely agree. And again, I kept thinking like, oh, Cade's playing so much in the second because he's just going to run the bench in the second half. That's what I kept thinking. And he ended up doing that for the fourth. And I think it was just kind of a balance of, like, let's just we'll run our guys, but also I want to make sure that these guys are prepared for all, because just like we've seen with our own guys, like I've seen with some of the Nuggets bench, is when you have these deep bench situations, sometimes they're so broken that it throws off the other team too. Like they're so inconsistent and so kind of sloppy that the other team doesn't know what to do either. And it can just lead to some shots, some issues for sure. So I do think that's more so what it was. And because, a lot of these guys last game, we can't even say that we were playing very sloppy against the Suns, but we just weren't hitting our shots. So a lot of these guys kind of got redemption tonight with their field goal percentage and kind of draining things that they weren't draining last time.
For sure. So guys, we did update the poll. And now the updated poll is, as far as who gets the belt, is now Javonte, to you guys' request, it is now Javonte Green, Duncan Robinson, Ron Holland, and Karis LeVert. And Javonte Green got 42%. Ron Holland got 34%. Duncan got 24%. And Karis didn't get anything. I'm surprised by that because y'all just asked us to update it. But it's all good. So
maybe they're just someone's canceling him out somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all good. But yeah, you guys went with Javonte. It's still updating. Ron is kind of catching up a little bit. But right now, we got Javonte at 40%. So we'll see how that holds for sure. I want to get to this comment too. I saw it earlier. Nikki said, I remember when Pacers used to play us laughing and joking while kicking our butt, but now this team is no longer this. Right. Even granted, they did have a lot of their guys out. It's just nice for us to be able to put BTA on the Pacers until more importantly, just allow our guys to chill and relax. It's always good to get our main guys rest and they're on the bench chilling and trolling, which we'll talk about a little bit later, trolling their teammates. But it's just a good thing to get those guys rest and, just kind of keep those guys fresh for sure.
Yeah, and the Pacers, they were the reserves, but they also made a lot of their own mistakes that were just kind of like, are you a professional basketball player? Like they had a lot of out of bounds plays.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Jackson, bless his heart, I gasped when he'd missed the dunk off the rim. Like not even like that was when someone did, but like I was
it was man.
So like they were in their free throws, like they also beat themselves. Like again, it makes me appreciate what our guys do because they went up against one of the number one defense, one of the top defenses, the top team in the East with their reserves. You don't expect to win, but a lot of it also was not forced. They had a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
So
that's
what made it a little bit even sweeter was because it was like, look, like we're playing this, but you guys, these guys not good. Not good.
Yeah. And that's honestly why we talked about how this is gonna be a positive show for sure. But I'm not gonna overreact to this dub. Like we definitely put BTA, but we gotta be fair. What did help the Pistons as well. You mentioned the free throw shooting, but also the 3-point shooting for the Pacers. They were playing, it could have built a mansion tonight. They were 0 for 15 in the first half at one point. 0 for 15. Just clank, clank, clank. So they missed a lot of shots. I will credit the defense, but they had some open ones too. They just missed, man. But that's what happens, when you don't have guys who are used to playing together as much because so many guys are out, or you just don't have the talent or the depth. You're gonna have guys who normally make those shots when they come in. Maybe they don't play as much. Maybe a little jitters. Maybe want to try and look. You just never know mentally. That's tough for anybody. So they could not knock down anything, especially in that first half. And that is what led to the Pistons, being able to do what they want to do, which is get out and run. They took advantage of it. So I'm not mad at it. I'm just not going to overreact and jump for joy because it is, even though it is a good win, they took care of the business like they should. Mm-hmm. It's still a depleted Indiana Pacers team who has lost 75% of their games this year.
Yeah. But, again, they could have, I'm just viewing it more so like it felt better that it was that way in a sense.
Instead of a close game.
Yeah. I think most of their points, too, kind of came off when they were able to get steals on us in transition. They got down pretty fast, but like you said, not going to overreact again, which is also why we don't want to nitpick them for any mistakes. Because, again, when the other team is sloppy, sometimes it just throws you off a little bit, too. Like just because it's like, that you can make baskets off a sloppy play.
Yep.
You can still defend off a sloppy play if the moment's right. So it was definitely an interesting, different kind of test for them tonight. And they obviously passed very well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So we are going to let's check that poll out. Make sure it didn't change. Yeah, so we still got Javonte Green 39%. So that looks like that's going to be the winner for sure. Yes. Boss, let's go ahead and get to some box scores in this game and take a look a little bit deeper into what happened. Let's start with Cade tonight. Tonight, Cade had, guys, 26 points on 6 of 14 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 5 assists, 2 turnovers in 21 minutes. So he didn't have to play a lot tonight, which is great. So take off on what you saw from Deuce.
Yeah, 21 minutes. That's good. The 2 turnovers were just kind of, I think, just dribble ones, really. 5 assists. Yeah, I mean, 16 and 5 in 21 minutes is great for him. He was hitting his shots a lot more confidently today. He was hitting his threes a lot more confidently, which I like to see. He had that foul in 2 seconds in. It was kind of just,
oh my God. I saw that too.
But yeah, I mean, really no notes for Cade. Obviously, he's great out there. I would have liked to see Ivy in with him more. We did get some minutes with them overlapping, but then Cade got to sit out and rest, which again, great. I'm glad that he got back into his rhythm. And was feeling good going into Monday's game where he may have to play. Well, he probably will definitely play more than 21 minutes, but against the Celtics, you just never know the extent of his minutes. So yeah, great night for Cade. And it makes me look forward to Monday that he's back in his usual shooting motion. His wrist must be feeling a lot better.
I think that's the key. Like he did look better tonight. He still didn't look like Cade to me. But I think a lot of it had to do with his wrist still. He had a smaller wrap on than I think he had last game. So that tells me he's feeling a little bit better, but I do still think he's dealing with some discomfort as far as just shooting the ball. I watched back a few highlights, and a lot of shots that he usually makes, he just missed. Right. And even though a lot of them were just kind of rimming out, it just didn't look as comfortable on second watch for me. He looked a little bit more confident tonight as far as just shooting the basketball. He's still had a few that he missed that he usually makes, but it's just going to be a time thing, I think, with him until the wrap is, because even on the side when he was on the bench, they had a wrap immediately. Exactly. Right? You know what I mean? So it's still some discomfort there. He's just kind of working his way through it. But once again, 21 minutes. So he got in there and you could tell from the start of this game, he was trying to get him up early. He was pushing the basketball, really aggressive, looking for his own shot when it was there, just trying to get easy buckets to get a fast start. And we did that. I think 13-2, which ended up being like 21-2. So you could tell he wanted to just kind of put this game away early so he could chill, so the main guys could chill, and it worked out for them in their favor for sure as far as that goes.
Exactly. And especially, I think just the big part of it was just also mentally getting back to his scoring rhythm after a bad night the other night. So yeah,
once we got up 30 in the third, I was like, all right, we're dating this.
We're dating this. See him second half, but I think he also, just knowing, Cade and how he presents himself, is he also wanted to go out there and make sure that he was contributing after a game that he probably thought fell a little short. So
true. That's a good point too. Let's get to our super chat from Damadavi coming through. What's going on, Brody? He says, always will take a win, but as a basketball fan, it was hard to watch with Indiana tanking a game like that. Small critiques for me was Asar's fouls and Cade missing a few layups, but took care of business the way we should have. What he just said is how I feel. Small critiques.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because it wasn't like we won by 10 points against the team. Because mentally, that could be detrimental to, and that could actually help them. That could give them more. The guys who didn't play in this game, who are watching this game, if we win by 10 or 9 or 8, they ain't that good. We all were here in the sideline chilling. They only beat us, but they struggling with our third stringer. So from a mentality standpoint, right? That's why I was happy to see them just blow the doors off them. Like, nah, like y'all need everybody to beat us this year. We different this year. And our bench is better than yours too. You're watching it right now. Like those things are important.
Yes.
Those things are important just from an optics standpoint and a mentality and confidence standpoint to just show them like, regardless of who y'all got out here, man, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Period. Right.
Well,
so
like for the first quarter and a half too, they were within kind of reach. Like they were within 15 to 20 points, which we've seen teams come back from easy. Mm-hmm. So I'm just glad that we literally did not let them go on a run. I think their longest run was 8-0. And so that was really it. But yeah, the small critiques, because we also mentioned, which we'll get to it with the box score, but before a show, I talked about a little bit how Asar had 5 fouls in two and a half quarters. But again, I think it was just kind of, it just goes to what I've already talked about of the other team just kind of already being a little messy. You don't know their moves. You don't know, they don't even know what they're playing. So Asar's just like guard this guy until he gives it up and then ends up fouling. But that's really
so I'm with you, bro. Yeah, it was hard to watch it because you just knew they were tanking. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you still could see the guys out there still wanting to try to get it done if they could, even though it was a long shot and the Pistons just said no. They said no. So I agree, bro. They took care of the business the way they should have, 100%. 100%. So we are going to credit them for that, and we appreciate your support as always. Fats Kim coming in. Appreciate you, bro. Says Danis with the barking in the huddle. I didn't see him. I didn't see that. Did you see that when he was in the huddle barking? I didn't see that.
No, I saw him talking smack to the guy that hit him across the face. I saw
the center. Yeah.
Chatting. But no, I didn't see that. But that's awesome. I mean, that's just who he is. So
for him to come in like this, and be a leader already, you could see he's one of the leaders, of this team. The way he's not afraid. He's not afraid of stepping on somebody's toe. Like he's just like, this is me, bro. Like take me or leave me. And thankfully, he's on a team that loves that kind of personality. That's just a dog. It isn't like, who's this? Like, and he backs it up on the court. That's the thing. He's not just a locker room guy. Like that shows you how good of a player he is to be a two-way guy who plays with the crew or play with the crews, but still have these guys' ears because of just how he is as a person and because of how he plays on the court.
Yeah,
it says a lot about him as a person with how they respond to him and how they let him be who he is and they don't look at him any less because he used to play in the G League or he's a two-way guy. Like he has their ear and their respect for sure. And that's one thing I love to see.
And like I told you, my first ever, like really, when I first saw Danis, when he was in Summer League, he had an interview after a great game and he just said that I'm going to be an NBA player. And that's exactly how he plays. He plays like he belongs here. He plays like he's been here. His IQ is off the charts for, again, a guy that's like, G League guys is usually like the Sixers just sent Jared McCain down to the G League. VJ Edgecombe kind of took his role this year and that's where it is. It's nothing bad. You get gems in the G League. I mean, these are all guys that can play in the NBA. They just haven't found a spot yet. So first of all, I implore you to go to a Cruise game or any G League game in your area because it's just as fun as an NBA game. Honestly, these are NBA level players. But yeah, like you said, Danis, he just goes out there so confidently. You can really throw him. He's one of the guys that I feel like you could throw in any lineup and he would make it work.
Easily. 100%. Yeah. We'll get to him a little bit more. Let's get to Great Tate Debates. Says Jay Green is a real find by Trajan. Real 3-and-D. Yeah, bro. 3-and-D and a little bit more just of everything. Mr. What You Need, coach, as Chris always says. Shout out to Chris if you're here. But yeah, he's I've said it before, Great Tate Debates. I think he's the best value all-season acquisition for any team as far as free agents. Like as far as his value based on what people like us as fans thought he was going to be bringing, I think it's the best signing. So that's a very shrewd move by Trajan Langdon to go find him for sure. He's been huge for this team.
And I just have to say, Trajan's been here 2 seasons and he just has a real feel for Detroit basketball. And I think that's just really incredible. He really knows what kind of people the fans enjoy, what kind of people fit into the culture overall for the last, 40 years of Detroit basketball. Javonte Green fits it perfectly. And that's, again, why, just barring any, season moves, like I just really trust him to bring the right people here.
That's a great point.
So far, I just want to mention real
quick, just between Javonte Green and Beasley, 2 guys are having career years in the NBA after having been journeymen elsewhere. So to your point, Trajan Langdon is cooking.
Yes. I just want to shout this out that the Heat beat the Thunder.
They beat them? Wow.
Yep, beat them by 2. And then the Knicks did fall again today. The Celtics did win. I did see someone mention that they went up. They were also up 43, but I think they they won by less. I think they let the Hawks get a little bit closer, which is something we did not do tonight. So
okay, the Hawks are better than this team, so I will give them that.
Exactly. Well, yes, right. But yeah, I just wanted to shout that out because it's, you know, the Thunder are basically the only other team better than us right now.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. I agree. So we are doing what we're supposed to do, man. I love to see it. All right, boss. Let's go ahead and move on now to Duncan Robinson tonight. Duncan Robinson, guys, finished with 16 points on 6 for 9 shooting overall, 4 6 from 3, 2 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover in 22 minutes. What did you see from D-Unk tonight, boss?
Yeah, like we talked about, he's also basically a finalist for the belt. I would not be surprised at all if he got it. He hit our first basket of the game, which was a nice 3. He hit some tough 3s too, over a lot of pressure. 6 of 9 is incredible, and then 4 of those were 3s. I'm just really enjoying just his spirit on the court, honestly. Like, he's just given so much effort. If he really is passionate about these wins, he takes his minutes out there very seriously. And this is something we've talked about for weeks now, but when he's out there, and even if he's not hitting, he's still doing other things. And I appreciate that when he is hitting, he's still doing those things. Like, he's out there when he's out there shooting 3s and they're draining, and that's what's asked of him. He's still giving his all on defense, or he's still trying to cut to the basket, or he's still trying to get an offensive rebound, or he's still trying to find the open guy. Like, I really liked his game tonight. There's truly, I don't really have anything to complain about with him.
I mean, to me, we agree. Like, I think as more and more games pass, it looks like he just understands more and more what we need him to be.
Exactly.
We need what his role is for this team. We all know he can shoot the ball, and we all know that's going to be a part of it. But I just feel like he's settling into what we need him to do on a night-to-night basis. He played well. Like, they've been running that action for him every game. The past couple games off that curl to now down to 3. And he's delivered both times. He did it again tonight. The Pistons, they like him getting off, that curl with JD. When JD sets the screen, he comes off, and it comes off clean. And he usually knocks that down. But his movement too without the basketball is what I'm liking, right?
Yeah.
It was a nice play where he tried to get open, came off a screen. They were there to meet him. So he got rid of the ball and immediately dove to the basket, and Stu found him, right? That was a great play. Just his movement without the basketball after receiving it. Like, because we all know when you want to play, you're off ball, you don't touch it yet, you're trying to get a shot. But when the shot's not there and you move it, and then you move yourself, like continuous movement to find. You got to be locked in defensively, because you may think you did your job. When you fight through screens and you don't give the guy any airspace, I did my job. But if you don't stay alert, he's right behind your back door. And that's what Duncan caught him on. So just the constant movement after you don't get the initial action. Yeah. I love that from Duncan Robinson. And then defensively too, he was solid. Like, just keeping his hands up, staying alert, good team defense, staying attached as much as he can. We know he's not a great individual defender, but he's playing pretty good team defense as far as what you would expect to see from him. You can't really ask for more. So I have no bad notes, nothing negative to say with Duncan Robinson. He was really good.
And kind of a foul heavy game, 3 guys, Javonte, Danis, and Paul Reed had no fouls. And then Robinson only had 1. And again, he's a guy that usually is attacked. I'm not saying he doesn't really rack up fouls, but he is really attacked, and everyone else had 2 or more. So that just, again, goes to show that he was just, making the right decisions and staying in front of his guy.
Yeah. Portro said he got the belt too.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout out to him. Let's check. Let's check. Did we get the final count on that? So you guys said Ron took over. Ron took the lead. So Ron Holland is at 38% for the belt. Javonte's at 34%. Duncan's at 23%, and Karras is at 5%. So, once again, when you got a deep team and you get contributions across the board, it's a great problem. I hope we have these problems all year long with these polls, to where there's a discrepancy on who should get it, because that means we're getting contributions from everybody, for sure. Yeah,
and that's been I feel like a couple of ones in a row now where it's like it could be up in the air who gets it, which again just feels really good. Of course, when there's blatant obvious ones, it's just as exciting, because a belt only gets given in a win. But when there's not obvious, it just says, okay, like, again, we had 4 or 5 guys we could have, given it to tonight. So that's awesome.
I agree. 313 Kurt says Duncan is finally growing on dudes. He is, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, y'all know, but y'all know why too. Because y'all, at the beginning of the year, y'all know what I want to see. Defense first, right? Just give the effort. And I didn't feel like he was really effective at all to start the year. It could have been because he was still understanding concepts and understanding, but even from an energy effort standpoint, it didn't seem like, not that he wasn't giving any. I don't think he was playing at the level that we needed him to, with the intensity that we need, the way we play Detroit defense, right? But once he started adapting to it and kind of really just embracing it like he is now, like, it's not like his foot speed has just improved dramatically. Like, he's just giving more effort and he's just playing better within the confines of the defense. So that's why it's growing, bro. The shot making, we knew was going to be there.
And the effort is there. And again, it's more so just kind of repetitiveness. We're halfway through the season, and he's, he picked up the defense scheme that he needed to do in order to stay out there. Because, we were both critical of him for the long minutes and low scoring. Why are you out there? But he knows he understands it. And I think it's just kind of that whole practice makes perfect. Like, he's just as the season goes on getting better. And that's all you can ask from a guy. And it's, I think personally, pretty impressive that these last few games we've commended his defense and not getting into foul trouble or not getting beat, because he's learning, what to do, or, to make quick adjustments, like calling out a switch and making sure that he's not stuck on the guy. I think it's just something like that. The communication, the effort, it's just been, progressively getting better. And so, and the whole point is, like, if a guy grows on you, that's amazing, because that means that guy's growing into our scheme of things as well.
Yeah, for sure. Some of you guys are saying Ivy isn't ready to take it yet, or he won't take the spot. It's still, I think, TBD, because we're still early. We're not at the playoffs yet. We still got a couple months until we get to that point. A lot can happen between that time. I think Duncan is doing everything he can to hold on to that spot. Yeah. Right.
Doing it well.
So we'll see. He's playing well. It's just more so for me stylistically. If we can get Jaden to the level that I think he's going to get to on both sides, you just can't teach the athleticism and speed that he has to be able to stay in front defensively and get out on the break offensively. So we'll see. But once again, this is not going to be a night for me where I'm critical. I'm going to be very positive, because this was a very positive win, despite who was available and who was not. And Duncan was a big part of that. So I'm just here to give him credit today, for sure. Yeah. So we'll leave it there, boss. Let's go ahead and move it on let's go to Asar Thompson. Tonight, guys, Asar Thompson had 7 points on 2 for 3 shooting, 3 of 5 from the line, which is an improvement. 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 3 steals and a block. 4 stocks, boss, for Asar in 16 minutes. So take off on Asar, Tasmanian backbone in the defense, Thompson tonight.
Yeah, well, 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 stocks in 16 minutes is very impressive, I believe. I think he looks confident from the start. Again, can, like I've said, you can kind of tell what kind of game Asar is going to have, and he looked good from the start. Again, like Dom said, like the 5 fouls, like 2.5 quarters through, a little bit like, really? But again, I think it was just because he was, he was playing very aggressive tonight against a team that wasn't playing aggressive back. I think that, it was just a little bit too simple to see his reach-ins, to see the hits. That's all it was. I don't think it was anything crazy. I think it just shows he's a very good defender on very good players. And tonight he didn't match up against a very good player. He matched up against someone who very few teams probably have scouting reports for. So, but again, his stat line is fantastic in the minutes that he had, and I just hope he brings that same energy that he started the game with to Monday when we really need it. We are 2-1 against the Celtics this season. This will be the last time we see them, I think. Oh no, was one of them a cup game? I'm not sure, but
against who?
Boston. One was a cup game, right?
Yes, I think one was. I think it was like Orlando and Boston, like back-to-back games. I think they were cup games. We lost.
I don't know if our cup games count against the 4 that we usually see, the season games. But if they don't, if they do, we only have 1 game left against them. We're 2-1, but Asar's they've been on a roll. They've been feeling themselves. They've been into a rhythm. So Asar's defense will definitely be needed on the perimeter on Monday. So today, I don't think like 5 fouls today, I think is way more acceptable than it will be on Monday when he needs to stay out of foul trouble.
The fact that he had 5 and 16 tells you how aggressive he was.
Yes, exactly. That's so true.
That's all you need to know. Yes. But the thing is, like, I think he's doing that, and he needs, 1 game, of course, not too concerned, but as far as being careful. But I think he does that, boss, because he said on numerous occasions that he gets his offense going when he gets his defense going early. He builds off of his defense is what parlays to his offense, right? But I think that's a big reason. He was very disruptive. Very disruptive. He had 2 steals in the first quarter. And I want to mention his ball denial too. Like he does a good job of denying the ball. Like when he says attached, guys are trying to cut. He's got his hand there and he's attached right there. He does it like that. A lot of time goes unnoticed because it's not a turnover or it's not a stop, but just those things like that are important, right? And he does a really good job of that. But he really parlayed his defense into his offense, and you could see he was just more. Whenever he has a good start defensively, where he gets a steal or he gets a block or gets a few stops in a row, you see him more confident offensively.
Exactly.
On the break or in the half court, he just seems to like, okay, I'm helping the team. I'm rolling. Now let's go ahead and just play off. And like when he doesn't do that early in games defensively, you see him kind of passive offensively.
Yeah.
You know, but when he's making plays defensively, you see it parlaying to the offense from a confidence standpoint. He's just much more aggressive. Like he's more active, moving without the basketball, which he did a good job of tonight, right? Just moving without the ball, catching the finishing. Like we always say, he's better as a finisher than a creator, right? He's under the basket, cutting underneath the hoop, behind his guy, dunks and stuff like that. That's when he's at his best.
Yes.
When he's just constant movement, whether it's in the half court or whether it's in transition, just using and taking advantage of his athleticism, letting him finish. And that's what he did tonight. Really good job of that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, like you said, he only had 1 turnover tonight. So even his offensive possessions were a lot better. Yep. He just looked very clean. I think just the foul trouble just slowed him down. But again, like you said, it just showed how aggressive he was. And it wasn't on a night that we necessarily needed his minutes. So he was in there just to learn more. And so now he can see, go back and learn and take those 5 fouls, to heart and understand what to do differently next time.
Right. Yeah, he drew a tech on Jackson too in the first quarter. Just he was frustrated about how physical he was. It wasn't even anything crazy.
They didn't even talk that whole time.
He didn't even look at him.
No.
That's what I like about Asar. Like he don't even get involved. Like he's not even going to engage back. Like, yeah, whatever, bro. He's just gonna play and
it goes
make
to
you pay
that
for
point.
it.
Yeah, it goes to that point that we were talking about when we had, I talked to Troy a little bit and we talked to him a little bit how the media portrays one as the mean and one was the nice. And it's like, they're both mean. One just holds it in more and it's Asar and you can see it right there. He was getting, and so, I appreciated that from him because I think that's just the ultimate rage bait. Just not even talk, just be like, hey, they were both holding on to each other too, which is hilarious. Like they were both holding. Yeah, but you're both holding. Yep. And one of you walked away with a tech from it. So,
yep. So yeah, shout out to him. I thought he was, aside from the fouls, I thought he tried to play to who he is as much as he could. And I think overall he was pretty good. So I got to give him credit for that for sure. Boss, let's go to Uncle T.
Okay.
Tobias Harris tonight. 7 points, guys, on 3 for 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal in 18 minutes. What was your reaction to Uncle T?
Look, again, just a really good, reliable scorer for us. I mean, only 7 points, but on 3 of 5, I'll take that. And, even Kelser brought up in the beginning how we weren't playing good half-court offense. The reason we weren't getting way ahead of the Pacers was because they were keeping it at a half-court offense. And again, I think that's where Tobias can really help us. I mean, he just played great. I appreciated his minutes out there. Classic vet, classic Unk. And then he had that nice lob to JD Jam, which, he's been practicing his lobs. It was perfect. It was just the right height. It was falling just the right place. So I appreciate everything I saw from Tobias Harris tonight.
That was one of the plays that stood out to me. Because just seeing him in spots be a creator, right? When he's able to get the ball and get downhill. Like the Pistons had him moving without the basketball tonight more too, right? They had him moving without the basketball. It wasn't just, camping out in the post, get him to a spot. They were running him off some actions, coming off pin downs, off the catch, making the right play, right? And he's able to take the shot there or find the lob or make the pass there. Like, and we've talked about his lobs. We talked about his lobs in the past, right? It was on target tonight. Now, granted, this wasn't on the break. This was in the half court, which is where he's best at. So maybe that was a part of it. But I do like them. I do like them using him as a secondary at times option, coming off screens, catching the basketball, and being able to get downhill from there because he's a threat in the mid range. We all know that. So when you got a 2-on-1 with him there, he's I would say at least close to, if not just as deadly as Cade is in the mid range. So when you get him there, if you can make that pass like he did, it's a good option to have. And
you can tell that he's still playing as hard as he can around these young guys. He dove to the floor for a loose ball.
Scrappy.
Against their Quentin Jackson, who's just a young and springy guy. You know, he got there. He made sure that, they were able to have a fight in that possession. So it's just, like you said, just looking really good. And I always trust, he's just that, like they've said about him in the past, like he's just so solid, just so reliable. On the offensive end, at least, he can't stay in front of a guy, but he's not going to make these amazing defensive plays. He did have a steal tonight, and again, dove to the floor for that. But in the offense, I'm never going to worry about him, doing a fadeaway, doing a jump shot, doing any of that. If he's backing a guy down, I know that he's 100% confident that he's going to make that shot. He's not doing it because he feels like that's his only option. So I love what I saw from Uncle T.
Yeah, you could tell the time off has really helped him too. He just looks a lot fresher.
Yes.
He said that aside from the hip joint issue, that he had some other nagging injuries as well. So he just does look a lot fresher. Like his willingness to dive on the floor for loose balls like he was tonight, tying guys up on the floor, for jump balls. He just has a lot. His shot, he just looks a lot fresher at this point. 313 says, like, who would you start to buy? Y'all already know who I want to start. I ain't having a conversation tonight. Yeah, see, y'all know, and y'all know why. Y'all already know what it is. I just talked to Lindsey Hunter and Tim Hardaway Jr. or Tim Hardaway Sr. the other day about this.
Flex on them.
A little bit. Just posted it. I just posted today. Y'all go check that out after the show. But I talked to Tim and Lindsey, and I don't know if I'll say I won them over, but they understood where I was coming from with it. Because at first I was like, I would start Stu over Tobias. And it was like, no. Tim was like, Tim had a cigar. He was like, he almost choked him. Like, no. And I was like, hear me out. Let me explain.
Thing with me, because I've said the same. I was like, I don't mind Tobias starting, but after a couple, games of Deuce talking his talk, I was like, I can see how this works. So,
I gave him the reason that I gave you as far as, because the conversation, real quick, the conversation went to how Tim thinks that Cat is afraid. Karl-Anthony Towns is afraid of Stu. And then Lindsey said, he scored 6 points last time they played. I was like, that's my point. But that was exactly my point. Because they were saying, like, Tim was saying, had he been there for that series, we would have won the series. So if he's that important, he's doing all that off the bench, or is he starting? You know what I'm saying? So when I broke that down, not broke it down because they know basketball. We ain't had that conversation. Those are two legends. But they just kind of came around when I gave them that point of view to, like, well, Tim, to your point, if he's that important, you got that too big lineup and you got Paul Reed behind you to replace those guys. And Tim was like, okay, all right. He didn't relent, but he was like, okay, all right.
Now you place that little seed in their mind, So now when they watch the game, they are going to be a little bit, because here's the thing. Stu didn't have a bad game tonight. Yeah. But the best games he's had recently have been when he's starting. And I'm not,
31-point career high.
Play the same way whether he's starting or coming out the bench. It's Isaiah Stewart. But I just kind of noticed. But again, like I would like to see, for me to have a final decision, I'd like to see Tobias come off the bench. It's something we haven't seen because he's a starter unless he's injured. So we haven't seen him come off the bench in anything. So that would be my like final, like, okay, this is how this should go. But
I just imagine him
for both.
I just imagine him getting buckets off the bench, man. Like, it would be so easy for him in that second unit, Tobias. The scoring punch.
Whether it's Duncan or Ivy with him, both of those guys could thrive off of him in there too.
Exactly. So it's a good problem to have. Yes. If, he's playing well right now, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse right now. Y'all already know how I feel about it. But if we're winning, I'm not too concerned. It's just when we get to the playoffs and start playing the same team over and over again, and they make adjustments and they start to try to use that size, that's when I'll start to get concerned. Like last year against the Knicks, you saw it, right? So we'll go from there. We'll leave it there for now, boss. But I thought Kuti plays out tonight. Okay, let's go to JD.
Okay.
Tonight, guys, JD had 25 points on 6 for 12 shooting overall, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 23 minutes. Good numbers there from JD. What do you see tonight from JD, boss?
Incredible. I mean, 15 and 8 and 4 assists in 23 minutes. That's fantastic. He definitely would have had a double-double if he was in there for his regular time, probably a 20-10 game if he was in there for his regular minutes. So he did fantastic. What I remember most from him this game was the dunk over Huff.
Oh, my Lord.
Because Huff, guys, he leads the league in blocks. He's above Wemby, who I know has had time off. He's above Stu, who comes off the bench. He's above Gobert, who they have leading DPOY for some reason. But
crazy.
He does lead in rebounds, but JD can catch up to that easy. But the dunk over Huff was fun because that's basically shutting down the league's best shot blocker right now. And it was, just more momentum to keep the crowd engaged, because just like when we're down, if you're down by a lot and nothing's happening, when you're up by a lot and nothing's happening, you're also a little bit like, eh. So they just went out there and played hard. I appreciate everything I saw from JD tonight.
So guys, next poll coming out hot. Who had the dunk of the night? Was it, see what I'm saying? Was it JD on Huff, or was it Ron on Isaiah Jackson? Because both of them caught bodies tonight, right? Kate pointed at Huff after JD dunked on him, which was hilarious.
And we got a thunder dunk for the Ron one from Blaha.
Yeah, tomahawk. You say tomahawk, a thunder dunk. What do he call it? He usually says tomahawk. Thunder dunk. Okay. He's changing it up a little bit in year 50. Okay, I ain't mad at you, George. Okay. But yeah, I thought both of those were incredible. Hilarious. Kate, that's Kate's thing. Kate been pointing that dude since his rookie season when he was getting teed up for pointing at dudes and getting ejected.
Isaiah Jackson?
No, Kate, he's been pointing at people for years after dunks. That's Kate's thing. But he gave him his little trademark point at J-Hub. That was funny.
They recognize. He wants to make sure that they know that he saw it.
He knows that they know. He just wants to. He just trolling. I ain't mad. I love it. Yeah. I love it, especially because they don't call it tease anymore. Because they were teeing him up before, and he would do that. Like, bro, you just come on, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny to me. It's funny to me. So we'll come back and look at that poll in a minute as far as who you guys thought had the best dunk. But both of them were really, really nice. Okay, it's all saying Ron during the so Ron had the best dunk. Okay, Dog Pound Jr. Okay, we'll check it out. We'll let y'all know what the results were in a minute. I thought JD was really good, man. He was very aggressive in this game. Like looking for his own shot. He wanted to show J Huff like, yeah, okay, you leading blocks, but you ain't getting those on me, bro. Yeah, you're not as strong as me, bro. You can't guard me, bro. Like you could just tell and he had some bunnies that he just kind of just missed. Like it's where he makes those 7-8 times out of 10. He just couldn't put them in the room. And look, but he was getting great position. He was like setting up camp and like, because he's not, a lot of guys can't keep him out of the paint. He's so strong. He's so big and strong. Like Huff he's not skinny, but JD's a tank, man. So it's hard to keep him out of that paint. Go ahead.
And look, so J Huff only played 13 minutes tonight because he got into foul trouble, but he mostly played against JD because they were the starters together. JD had one steal and 0 blocks, but no blocks, no steals for the league leader in blocks. Like, and 3 points and 1 rebound is what he was held to because of our big guys, JD and Stu. So just impressive to do, because even when it's a team that you can beat, there's still individual players you want to shut down. J Huff just had his career high last night at 29 points. This man can shoot threes. This man, again, leads the league in blocks. He can rebound. He can do these things. He's actually, I think, kind of better for the Pacers than Miles Turner because he can do all those things and rebound. But I think, but again, he was shut down tonight because of our guys' presence and not playing down to anybody, not assuming that it's going to be an easy rebound or an easy shot.
Right.
The guys gave him problems, and that's why he was out of the game early.
Agreed. Real quick question. Kevin says, if J.I. is starting at some point, tough to run Tobias and Duncan with the bench unit for heavy minutes defensively? I don't think so, because you still have Javonte Green and Ron Howland there. And equal Dennis to the point guard spot. So I think that will still work out fine. I think that's a nice balance, actually, of offense and defense there. You got shooting. You got some defense. You got point guard play. You got a big and Paul Reed. I think that's actually a good rotation, to be honest. I think it's more balanced. Go ahead, boss.
We just talked about how Tobias has been, or how Tobias can stay in front of his guy. We just talked about how Duncan's effort on defense has been very good lately. So it's not just going to be like, oh, this guy just stands around as a cone. He's at least going to try. I get that, but those guys would have to kind of be our lead scorers. I can also see if Jenkins was in that lineup with them,
that's coming on, have a point guard. Yep.
Yeah, that's a point guard. So yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so we'll see. I think that's a good rotation, honestly. I think that could be really good. So we'll see. That's once again, they got a lot of options, a lot of candidates for that bench unit for sure. But yeah, I thought JD was great, boss. I thought he was just great all around. Once again, he had some easy ones he could have finished, but I'm not gonna harp on that, man. He still shot 50% overall 3 for 5 from the free throw line. I want to see that a little bit better. Want to see him at that 4-5 range. You know what I mean? 80%. I think he can get there. He's shown he could do it for a big part of this year, especially early this season. He was really shooting them well, but not a big deal. 8 boards. Yeah, I like it. 4 assists. His vision to his passing is getting better. He still has times at times where he's a little errant with passes, a lot of control, but his vision, and I won't even say for a big. I just think his vision overall is pretty good and it's really improved. Just decision making when he gets at the free throw line, out of pick and roll, he's making the right decisions. He's got a lot better with that for sure.
We didn't see a lot of his jump shots tonight, and I think it was because he recognized who he was matched up again. Like I just told you, he shut down Jay Huff, but he also knows what Jay Huff has been doing in the league. So he understood that there's some guys that you just can't turn around and shoot it over unless you want to end the possession. So like you said, he just made the right choices and the right decisions. Right.
Yeah, I agree. See, I like this off from JD, man. Using that left hand off the glass, like he's really talented, man. He's really talented. It seems to me like he is on a mission to prove, like, to the bigs around the league that I'm better than most of y'all. You know, he's about to get his All-Star nod. You know, I think he's just showing like I'm better than y'all.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. He wants to establish himself as the team does, as one of the best teams, and he wants to prove he's one of the best bigs. He's playing like it right now.
If he got 10 more minutes, he would easily have a 20-10 game. He probably
something you want to see.
I'm not even kidding. Like,
exactly.
Because if he played more than 10 minutes, he wouldn't be playing. He'd be playing against Isaiah Jackson, who again struggled tonight. So
15-8 in 23 minutes. Yeah, come on, man. Like that's a beautiful thing to see. And once again, nobody played more than 25 minutes tonight, boss. Ron played the most at 24, which is great. So JD did his thing, man. He did his thing. No complaints from JD tonight. All right, boss. Before we move on, I want to check on the results from that poll. And who do you think won this poll between Ron and JD for Dunk of the Night?
Well, I went first here who you would pick because I would have picked Ron.
I would have too.
Okay.
I would have too.
And nothing against JD, but what Ron did was fun.
Well, the thing is, okay, so here's the numbers. Ron is at 82% and JD is at 18%. Ron's was just head up. It was just head up. Like Jay Huff had to guard 2 guys. Yeah. You know, and he had to try to guard Cade and guard the ball. That could put anybody in a tough spot. I don't care who it is. When you got a guard as big as Cade, and then you got somebody as athletic as JD, I don't care who you are. That's a tough ask. Yeah. And he was trying his best to not give up the midi or the floater to Cade while also trying to backpedal as soon as he realized and processed it was going to be a pass. Like that's a tough thing to do. It's just nice to do it over the leader in blocks. You know what I mean? And to do it the way he did. JD kind of hung on the rim a little bit, added a little extra to it, and then Cade pointed to was like, that the whole play made that a great dunk, right? But Ron, he just went straight up over the top. He went straight up over the top. And Jackson wasn't out of position. He was there. He was ready. It was just head up. Right? We see a lot of guys trying to catch Stu that way, out of position. He still blocks him. But Jackson was in position. He was right there. And Ron just said, bro, I got something for you. So for sure.
Yeah, and that's like, again, like JD's our center. Of course, that's exciting. But like Ron is one of our smaller wing guys. Getting at, off is also just a little bit more exciting. I just think it was a little more. I mean, both were nice. Both were highlights for sure. Yep. But
Torch Lord says Ron's dunk was not too far from being. It was just head up, up. And then Heisenberg said Ronnie threw it in there like hard, like Neek used to. Woo! Dominique Wilkins, for anybody in the back who doesn't know, one of the best dunkers of all time. He's in my top 5 dunkers of all time. Dominique Wilkins, ridiculous.
Go look up his highlights, guys.
Ridiculous.
Like, who is this?
Human highlight film, man. Ridiculous. But that was nice to see, man. Had some highlight plays tonight. Real fun game for this team, right? You could tell they had a lot of fun. They did their work early, and they were able to get everybody some opportunities. So, and their other guys some rest. So, 2 birds, man. I love it. Anything else on JD before we get into some of these reserves, boss?
No, I am good.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the bench unit. And let's start, boss, with Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert, guys, tonight finished with 10 points on 4% shooting. All 4 from 3. Couldn't get that going. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 1 board, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal in the block with 3 stocks in 20 minutes. Take off on Karis LeVert.
Yeah, 1 steal, 2 blocks for 3 stocks is great. So he started bad. I was mad at him. Just came in immediately, whiffed a pass.
Oh man, yeah.
got a turnover not too long after that. But then he did LeVert things. He caused turnovers and deflections. Again, I feel like his defense is the main reason that he's in there for times. We've been waiting for him to pop off offensively because that's what we want for a guy that we're paying like this and for his minutes. But his defense still was good tonight. He had the last basket of the quarter in the first. He had a couple of great assists tonight, but he had that like laser pass to Stu.
To Stu? Yeah.
That was nuts. And then
that was nice.
Yeah. Well, there's a laser one, and then the no-look one was the B-ball.
There you go. There you go.
Reverse.
Over the head. That was nice too.
A big steal. So he made nice plays, started off slow. All I ask of a guy is to, if you start off bad, bounce back and do better. I feel like he did that tonight, but yeah, one of his better games finished overall, I would say, but still kind of a little disappointed in his output. And today could have been a really big day for him to shine. 4 of 10 isn't terrible, but it's also like, 6 to 10, I would have been like, it was a LeVert night. Yay. So just teetering that line. I think he did well second half after cleaning up some of those mistakes. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like for me, it was hot and cold. It was overall better hot than cold, but it's just like a roller coaster sometimes with Karis LeVert. I go from it's gonna be that kind of night to you might need some more minutes to go sit down to we might need him right now. Like it's just so Black Card. It's just like so hot and cold. Real quick, Bezo Holder says before tonight, the last time an NBA team was held to 78 points or fewer was in April 2022 when Portland finished with 78 against Dallas. Nice fun fact there for sure. We appreciate that.
Love the numbers.
4 years, almost to the month. So that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I thought he was okay. He's like you mentioned, he struggled early. I was so frustrated that first play where he ran a pick and roll with JD and just threw it over his head. And that was when we were like, they were stuck on 4 points for like ever.
Yes.
And as soon as that turnover happened, they came down to scrum like, it just killed the momentum a little bit. Like, come on, bro, come on, man. But
he had 2 turnovers, but other guys did too. So
it wasn't just him. It wasn't just him.
But they were bad, and he got better. That's all I ask of a guy.
Exactly.
I've held that standard too. If you start off slow, as long as you make up for it, we're still going to call you out for starting off slow, but we're going to recognize you for what you finished with. So.
Right. He finished with only 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
But here's the point, and now I agree with Devin here. He had great defense tonight.
Yes.
Very good defense. That was the biggest thing. The playmaking was nice. Like you mentioned, the no-look pass to B-ball Paul, the nice pass out of pick and roll, I think, to Stu, the laser. Good stuff. That's good stuff. That's the Karis we want to see consistently.
Yes.
Right. Just under control on top of the playmaking. That's the only thing. Like you said with Danis, he's playmaker. He makes plays, but it's under control. It's very steady and consistent. Right. Karis is like this. He's been like this. When he gets to that, hopefully at some point in the season, if he can get to that level of where it's consistent play like we got at points in this game, that's the Karis LeVert that I think could be a factor in the playoffs. And that's the Karis LeVert I was hoping we were going to get when he first came. That's why I said he was the most important acquisition. I've seen him do it elsewhere.
Right. Yes. And he's been really good with his ball handling. I think it's just his turnovers come off of passes usually. He doesn't usually turn the ball over when the ball's in his hands, I would say. But on passes, he usually does. Because I do trust him out there as a ball handler. It's just when he gives the ball off is when I'm like, But those are his strengths. So like you said, if he just like if he came in and didn't make that pass and then the next a couple plays later make a turnover, an errant pass again, like he would have had a really solid game. So it's almost like if he just came in warm and ready, be set. But
I agree.
10 and 4 in 20 minutes is fine, especially 3 stocks as well. But he's also a guy that I was kind of shocked played a little bit more than Jenkins. Jenkins did play a lot in the fourth. I thought that we would see him sub in LeVert at some point earlier in the game, but we didn't. But again, not really, like you said, not really any complaints with this game because we didn't really, nobody really let it all go to waste. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Yeah, you good. I'm with Heisenberg. That's how I thought too. Like, but he settled in nicely. He bounced back after that. Dubs in the chat, my dog Juan. What's going on, bro? Shout out to Coach of Detroit, man. Torso said Karis LeVert makes us dizzy. It's just a consistency, man. Hopefully, he can get to that point because like I mentioned, when he's doing that and like Kevin says, he's a long range, he's 6'6", 6'7", right? So when he's playing, like when he's giving you that consistency offensively, this really comes into play because he even
Yeah.
had a play, I think, in the fourth quarter where he picked somebody's pocket and took it down for a dunk, right? So he creating his own offense off his defense. We see a guy like Asar and Ron doing that. So if Karras gets into that party and starts giving us that consistency offensively, whole different player, whole different ball game, whole different perspective that all of us have on the Karras LeVert. So hopefully he can get to that point and we can have a whole different conversation about it. Yeah. But I definitely think it is something good to have for sure. For at least for now. So we'll leave it there, man. Anything else on Karras LeVert?
Nope.
Okay. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Jaden Ivey, boss. Tonight, guys, Jaden Ivey finished with 5 points, 2 for 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 boards, 1 turnover, 1 block, and 20. He played 21. I didn't realize he played that many minutes tonight.
Yeah.
21 minutes tonight for J.I. Take off.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, didn't realize he played 21 minutes, and I wish he kind of made a bigger impact offensively.
I do
2
too.
from 7 is just kind of not where I want it. I do remember the shots he made. He made a nice fadeaway, and he made a 3. Those were nice. The other ones he didn't really find. He had a block on Cam Jones, which was fun. At the other end, it's like if he didn't get it, Stu would have gotten it. So I just like to see him giving that effort on both ways. Yeah, 21 minutes is a solid amount of time for him to make slightly bigger impacts. So yeah, I guess for me, I'm glad that, he got those minutes. I would have liked to see more from him. Because it's not even like he was 2 for 3 or anything. Like he was 2 for 7. Like, so he had some opportunities. 0 assists. I don't love. He's not really in there for a playmaker, but to help, I don't know. I don't love that.
I just want to see more him and Dana James. I want to see more him with another point guard.
That's true. But we didn't even see that much with Cade. He was mostly him and LeVert.
That's what I'm saying.
That's so true. So I agree with that. Some people in the comments, I did see you guys earlier. A couple of you mentioned how you were worried about his mental health, how he just didn't seem into it. I think that's valid because there's now a few games that's been brought up and it has been noticeable. So for me, I hope that whatever's going on with J.I. is either something that we're misinterpreting or that it's solvable and he gets over whatever this hump is, because there were a few hustle plays. There were a few things tonight that I really love to see him. I just love that he made his first shot. Then he kind of went a little cold in the second half, but yeah, I wish, especially the last game where he was doing well and got shorter minutes. I wish now with longer minutes he did just as well, because we've been amping him up to do that. So that's kind of where I'm at with J.I. It's just like, yeah, he did good on his good plays, and then otherwise it was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I think like offensively, it wasn't the output we wanted to see for sure. I wanted, because he got off to a good start. He came into the game and immediately hit a 3. Yeah, and I was thinking this might be an offensive game for him tonight, but they kind of went away from him a little bit. He kind of had some plays where he just uncharacteristically lost the ball out of bounds. Yeah. Just plays like that. I'm still not concerned. I just wanted to see him be more aggressive. But once again, man, when you're up that much, I don't. It's hard to say that he should have been more aggressive because everybody pretty much played a part. I don't know. Heisenberg, I do agree with this. I do still think he's favoring that leg too. I'm watching him. He's still not 100% yet. Go ahead, boss.
Even if it's not pain, it's just mental. Okay? Because again, a couple of you have said that you have experienced a fractured leg or broken leg.
Yeah.
I try to put myself in that shoes. I've actually never broken a bone. Knock, knock. And I try to put myself in that shoes of like, when can you fully trust your body, even if it's not pain? I've heard of people even experiencing phantom pain. It's just a little bit of a mental block. And I just wonder, he took a couple, like, again, he was playing aggressively to the point of he took a couple spills tonight. And so I just wonder if when that happens, it's just more relevant in his mind of like, oh, I'm falling down and I need to catch myself. And then it comes to like, okay, I can stand back up, because the last game, it felt like he felt way more confident. Like, yeah, I was a little bit off. Like he felt more confident and moved. So it's just, I wonder if, maybe there is lingering pain or aches, or he can feel it in a way, that at least makes it noticeable to him and he's aware of it. So I think that's a really good point. I don't want to, again, assume anything. And I kind of hope that is the reason, because like we keep getting glimpses of J.I. again. And I just was really hoping that tonight would be a continuation of that for him. Cause I he's my favorite player on the team too. That's the other thing is like, I want him to be here. And so, I just hope that whatever it is, it's solvable for him, for J.I. as the person and player.
I'm looking forward to the next game.
Mm.
You know, I want to see how he plays against a team like Boston, who has kind of been a rival, I guess you could say, as of late. We're going to need him in that game. We're going to need his ability to be able to knock down shots, to play good defense like he did tonight. I think one thing that gets missed, even though he didn't have a good offensive game tonight, he didn't. On 7, he only took 7 shots. He didn't take a ton of shots. But I think his defense kind of gets overlooked. I don't think it's getting enough attention because he's become a much better defender already. Right? Just with his rotations, a lot of people were complaining about his team defense, him not being aware on defense, things like that. You're not seeing missed assignments like we've seen in the past, where you know he's looking at his teammate with his hands up, like, what did I miss, or something like that. Like, he's staying attached very, very well. His rotations are great. His awareness is much better, and he's moving his feet a lot better too. A lot of times in the past, I would see him trying to swipe at the ball or caught out of position, but he's staying in front. He's standing. You don't see guys routinely scoring on Jaden Ivey. You know, you just don't see that. So I think his offense just has to catch up. And I'm still not going to judge him in January. We still got a few months out until we get to the playoffs. I'm focused on the spring. If I can see him continuously getting better incrementally by the time we get to March, if he's still like this by March, I'm a little bit concerned because we're going to need him in the playoffs. We're going to need what he can bring because he's the only guy who can bring some of the things that we need, right, on this team when he's at full capacity. So if we get to that point and it's still looking like this, I'm like, then I'm a little concerned. But as of this point right now, we're winning games by 40. I'm okay with it for right now. It's not what I want to see. I want to see more, obviously, but I'm not panicking yet.
Exactly. And, you know, again, when we're in a game like this, you know, when we really need him to step up is in the close games and the games that mattered, you know, kind of those kind of roles. Again, this was a challenge for everybody. Like, facing a team that barely has their stuff together, it's still a challenge. Yeah, you're going to win, but it's still hard to be consistent in your own play. You don't even know what this other team is doing, how they're guarding, how they're playing offense, you know? And, but I agree with you completely. I think too, like, I just want to reiterate, guys, because I know it's a contract year for J.I. I can't speak to what's going to go on in the offseason, but just yesterday, Trajan was it yesterday, a day before, he did reiterate again that we're not going to make a big splash.
He said it over and over again.
Trading Ivy is a big splash because this is a guy that they talked about in the preseason too, saying that they're not looking to trade him. They want to give him a chance to get healthy again, all this stuff. He is a part of our team. He is a part of this, you know, family. He carried the team when Cade was injured as well. He deserves, I think, some respect. And I think he's earned it. He's earned it. Not only does he deserve it, but he's earned it. But so that's why I don't see him necessarily. Well, I'm even just talking to myself a little bit, talking myself down about worries of him being traded because I think he still can get with it. But again, I think getting rid of Ivy would be considered a big splash compared to some of the things that happen. I'm not saying that they're not going to make any moves. They haven't said that they're not going to make any moves, but it's not going to be like this huge package deal, I think, for someone that we've considered a vital part of our team for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, Trajan Langdon has made that point. He said it, like, it's funny. Reports came out that the Pistons were making a move by morning, and by afternoon there was a report from saying that they're not reiterating that they're not making any moves. So it's like almost like, y'all shut up about this. It's not happening. Who's making this stuff up? But the bigger thing for me is over the past 4 years, this is year 4 for J.I. And this is year 4 with J.I. and Cade on the same team, and they have barely played a season worth or started together a season amount worth of games.
I mean, barely half a season.
Well, think about it. Year 1 was when, for Jaden, was when Cade had the shin injury.
Yep.
So after game 12, Cade was unavailable, and J.I. was running the point guard. He was running the show. So that's year 1. Year 2 was Monty, and we all know who he had starting over Jaden Ivey, right? Yep. That was year 2. Year 3 was last year, and that was 30 games. And here we are, year 4, he hasn't started yet. So they still haven't played a full season worth of games together as a starting unit.
Right.
So I don't think, based on what Trajan Langdon has said, which is what I want to give these guys an opportunity, based on what he said, that in no way means they're going to make a move for him. It wouldn't make sense. That'd be contradictory to what he said. So that's why I don't think he's going to, just based on what our GM who makes these decisions is saying, doesn't make sense for that to happen. So I'm not concerned about that right now.
And well, I mean, no, we won't hang on it too long, but you know, this stuff maybe
just started. Devin know me. Devin like, don't do it, Devin.
Yeah. But maybe it's not meant to be, guys. Yeah, maybe. But when he says an opportunity, I don't think an opportunity is 20 games
right.
I think it's 10 games at no minutes restriction. I don't think that's an opportunity. And so if we are going to trust what Trajan says, and if we're going to trust Trajan, you need to say you need to trust what he says too. Because to me, it kind of breaks my trust a little bit if he says we're not going to make a big splash, and then he trades away a guy that has helped carry this and who has have said is going to give opportunity to. That to me would be like, what are we doing? So I just want to also say, I guess I'm getting some reports that there were a lot of Nets scouts there. Let the Nets scouts be there. Trading for MPJ would be a big splash, guys.
Right.
But anyways,
I don't either.
Yeah,
but that would be a big splash considering his contract and the role he would want. Yeah, that's a splash.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that too real quick, because I just feel like, we're hard on these guys that we've seen be good. I think it'd be a different story if JI was a mediocre player and we're just kind of holding on to him because we feel bad because he got injured. No, he's been a great player for our team. He has been a great player for our city. He's been a great teammate, great person. And so I just think, that it just goes to say that we need to, I just think, speak a little bit, have your criticisms, but in a time where he's definitely trying to get his confidence up, his game back, just support him. Because that's how I feel. Just gotta support this guy and the team.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, anything is possible. We don't know what's going to happen, right? All we can go off of are what they're telling us, So just based on what they're saying, that's why I don't think it's going to happen. So, but we'll see how like I said, I want to see what happens in the coming weeks. And I've said this every show, the coming weeks, right? Months. That's to me is when I'm going to really have a keen eye on it, because as of right now, we're trying to get consistency with our rotation. We're trying to get guys, we're trying to work on things. So to me, it's kind of a moot point to have right now. I know the deadline's coming up and everybody gets excited around this time. I get it. But just going off what they said, it's kind of a moot point to me at this point. So if it happens, we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. But I'm focused on March more so. It's February, March when it comes to JI to see how we're looking going to the playoffs. So we'll leave it there.
And trusting my GM and what he says.
Right. 100%. So we'll see. All right, boss. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to Ron Holland. Guys, tonight Ron Holland had 7 points on 3 for 7 shooting, all 1 from 3. 1 for 1 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and a block, and a poster dunk in 24 minutes, boss. What did you see from LeRon Dog Jr.?
Yeah, just everything. This is a normal Ron game. He had a nice follow-up slam off of a Cade miss. He had that block to end the first quarter or second quarter to end the half. His thunder dunk in the third, and then the big dunk off of Jenkins' lob as well. Played good defense. 7.6 rebounds. I mean, third most rebounds for us. 2 steals, a block. 3 of 7. Attempted a 3, didn't get it. No worries. Made his free throw. 1 turnover. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was good.
It said Ron things, and again, that's why he was kind of on our belt night. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who got it. But he looked like his typical self out there. And I just really, from him, I'm really loving the consistency, because I know he's been so good lately that you almost forget that he started slow. Like people were talking about the slump with him because he started a little slow, but he's been so consistently good the past, I would say, month and a half at least.
Yep.
And that's just what I want from him. And I even told you, I think the Pacers have their Quentin Jackson. He kind of reminds me of Ron, but like last season. He kind of reminds me of the way he moves.
Quentin's the guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quentin Jackson's the guard, and he kind of reminds me of Ron last season, just in his movements, just in his decisions. While LeBron this season has just been a lot, I think, smarter with decisions. There were a couple times where I saw him bring the ball up, and I was like, yeah, he's going to take that all the way to the rim. I know it. Times I was like, oh, he pulled out at the right time. Like he read the game very well, because I think his stat line honestly could have been a lot worse for a guy that was kind of, had free reign over a team that was bad. We had a 40-point lead. Ron could have driven into the basket as many times as he wanted, but he didn't. He was making the right move for the team. So that's everything about Ron's game tonight. Yeah,
he does try to drive to the basket as much as he can. Yes. Sometimes I think it's a little ill-advised, but I do like what he's trying to do as far as trying to just put pressure on the defense, get downhill, draw fouls, because he's a good finisher, right? And he's not getting the whistle that I think he deserves right now. I think, well, I won't say that he's not getting the whistle that I think he deserves, but I don't think he's just getting enough respect around the league. Just because he's a physical player. Tonight, it was a few times he got bumped off a spot going to the rim with no call. It was just
Absolutely.
like, come on, bro, where's the foul? Like
Those are
it wasn't even
aggressive.
like it was a star call or anything. It was just like, that's a foul, bro. Like,
Yeah.
where's the call? You know? So like, I don't know why him and us, like, we talked about him, and the Pistons don't get a great whistle. They got a great whistle last game, right?
Yeah.
But overall, we don't get a great whistle. And I think he's just one of the worst officiated players offensively, man, because he never, it seems to like gets a whistle whenever he goes to the rim. It's crazy.
Or even that defensive block that he had that definitely should have been a charge. Like I kind of think that even if they weren't consciously doing it, I think the refs were aware that the Pacers were down by 25-30, and they're just like, well, if the Pistons can't make a layup, too bad, so sad.
Crazy.
So maybe that's all I can think. But I agree with you completely. I don't think he gets the benefit of the doubt on offense when he drives to the basket sometimes. And like you said too, when sometimes it's ill-advised, but then on those ill-advised ones, sometimes he makes it. So I'm getting 50-50 on his, like, I was like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's just like we've seen Greg Kelser be like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, somehow he made that, you know?
I think for me, it's just, I think sometimes he puts the blinders on just a little bit. When he decides to get to the rim, it's like, I'm about to go dunk on somebody, like he did tonight. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing better at it. That was like, that's why I kind of think about Quentin Jackson. That was kind of what I saw in him, is like he's made some ill decisions. He had 5 turnovers for the Pacers tonight. He made some ill-advised decisions because he was just wanting to contribute in ways that I saw Ron last year. And this year we still see a little bit of it but he has grown a lot in those decision makings and when to do it and when to not, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, guys, Tara just filling us in saying Duncan got the belt. Tobias gave the belt to Duncan. Dope.
Understandable.
Vet to vet. I like that. Vet to vet. I mean, he's probably a little biased, vet to vet. You know what I'm saying? Just give it to the older vet.
Yeah, maybe.
Cool. It's cool. But I mean, he deserved it.
Earn it. Telling them you really got to earn it if you want it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was cool, though. That was cool. Well, you mentioned he made a lot of heady plays tonight, did Ron. I love the chase down block at the end of the half to not give them any momentum going into the second half, right? Even though the game we had a substantial lead, but it's just the mindset, I'm not giving you nothing easy. Right. Yeah. And he was able to rush down. He's fast, man. Yeah. We talk about Ron, we talk about Asar speed and Jaden speed. Ron is fast, man. Yeah, he gets up and down that court with the basketball with the best of them too. Yeah. And even without the ball, he's sprinting all out. That dude moves like a gazelle, bro. So you got a lot of athletes on this team, man. A lot of athletes on this team. But I just love the energy, the effort that he always brings, and he brought it again tonight. So he came into the game immediately, tip dunk immediately. Yep. Right away. So once again, he always makes his presence felt on one end of the court or the other, sometimes both. So yeah, good game from Ron. I was happy with it. All right, let's move on, guys, to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green tonight, guys? He finished tonight with 16 points on 6 for 9 shooting overall, 4 or 6 from 3. He made up for the last game for sure. We talked about that. 3 boards, 1 steal in 20 minutes. What an efficient game, man. Sheesh. Take off on Savage. Whoa, beast.
My only notes for him are just threes. Like he was just draining the threes. He was fantastic. Again, we've talked about it too when he's been kind of the guy I've gone to and I've said when Duncan's not scoring and we need defense, like who would you bring in? We need defense and offense. It's usually I would pick Green because he can shoot those threes. Again, I want to point out no fouls in 20 minutes. I just want to point that out.
Sheesh, man. Again. He's always doing that.
Like I just want to see. I'm sure there's a stat out there. I'll look it up myself. But like minutes and like defensive like steals efficiency compared to like personal fouls because he's got one of the highest up there because he makes these defensive plays. And I think I've only seen 1 game, maybe 2 games this season where he's had 3 or more fouls. Like he's just very good at what he does. That's all I can say for Wu. Really, is just the 3, just draining threes and just confident about it. And then of course his defense.
Yeah, we always say it. Like he plays the same way every game. He plays the same way every game. The same things you want to see him doing that help your team win. He does it. Whether it's playing good individual defense, good team defense, right? Just being available offensively, knocking down shots, or just taking good shots. The only difference in usually night to night is did he make shots from long range or didn't he? That's usually the difference in the game with him. But he plays the same exact way every single game. He knows what he's best at. He knows what this team needs him to do. And he just goes out and does it. The only thing that he really can't control every night is if the shots are falling. Yeah. But from last game to this game, his approach was exactly the same. The only difference was they didn't go down the last game. They went down tonight. That's literally it.
So games that they're not going down, the late ones usually do. Like he's usually clutch with his shots.
Clutch.
They're timely. We've used that word with him before. He's very timely with his shots. And last game it wasn't there. So again, with a couple of these guys, like we mentioned, I'm glad that they got, kind of the rust off and were able to drain it tonight because we're gonna need that going into Monday against the Celtics.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and he usually comes up big against the Celtics. Just ask Derek White on that poster dunk last time. So we'll leave it there on Javonte Green. But yeah, just Mr. What You Need, coach, man. Shout out to Chris.
And a lot of you guys voted him. A lot of you guys voted him player of the game too. So
deservingly. Yeah, for sure. 100%. All right, boss. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to let's get a couple woo comments real quick. Gumby says, woo-hoo Green. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! What's the song called? Akon. I wanna get away. Let's go to Jamoke says, Woo is great long as he not taking open layups. Does he miss open layups? I don't remember him missing open layups.
Hey, he did that great tonight. You've got lots of.
I thought he finished well tonight.
Say something positive about a teammate.
Yeah, Jamal, he always negative, bro. What's up with the negative comments, bro? That's why we don't throw you up here because your stuff is always negative, bro. Come on.
Say something positive about something.
Always negative, bro. We just won by 40 plus. Let's talk positive, man. Man, I can't wait to see y'all when we lose a game by double digits. Y'all gonna be insufferable. Sheesh, man. Come on. Come on, man. Change your mentality, bro.
We won't even play. They'll be like, get Levert off this team.
Had a DMP. Didn't even play. I'm screaming. All right, man. We'll leave it there, guys. Let's move on, boss. Now to Stu. Isaiah Stewart. 7 points, guys, tonight. 3 for 7 overall. 1 or 2 from 3-point. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, and 1 steal and a block. 1 steal on the block in 21 minutes, boss. Take off on Dog Pound Sr.
I mean, beautiful. 5 assists. 5 assists. That's tied with the most with Cade Cunningham.
Yep.
I even wrote it down too. This is my only note for Stu. Fun at the point. He had a nice find to Tobias. It didn't work out, but he stayed up high, got the ball back, and drained a 3. A couple of assists, guys, were from the point. A couple of assists were from the point into the paint for cutting guys. That's awesome. You're muted, by the way, Deuce. But
my bad. Go ahead.
Yes. But I loved that. Was fun that was just fun to see from him. The 1 steal, 1 block again. Kind of when he has 1 block, I'm like, oh, what an off game for him. He had more blocks than the leading blocker in the NBA, Jay Huff.
Yep.
So again, and he challenged some guys. He got a couple fouls on a couple block challenges. But again, he's told you, and we've seen this, he's not going to just back down. He's always going to attempt to block the shot. I loved everything that I saw from him. Yeah, Stu did the rebounds, everything. 7-7-5. And again, this is still a great stat line for a guy coming off the bench, but he's had better starting. So I can see both ways of where he is. But yeah, he really just held it down.
Same. Once again, like Isaiah Stewart's numbers are not going to be, his impact is not always going to be indicative with the box score. We always call him the box score deceiver. Yeah. He just does so many of those the way Asar does the thing with the ball denial, doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Like Stu does a lot of those things that just aren't considered stats, right? I know. I'm just saying.
I said I'd throw it up if he said something positive. So
all right. Okay. Let's keep that positivity going tonight, bro, especially the game like tonight. Come on now. But yeah, I think Stu he's just a player who's just going to do dirty work.
Yeah.
His impact is not always going to be seen in the box score, man. Like tonight, we say before, boss, like when we see guys with high minutes but low like scoring outputs, it's like, okay, I'm looking at the rest of the stat sheet. What else are you doing? And you see the rest of the stat sheet, he's doing stuff. Even outside of the stats, he's just impacting the game. It's being a presence, right? He did a lot of dirty work tonight. It wasn't glamorous. It was not glamorous tonight for him in this game, but he just put his hard head on and did the dirty work, right? Protected the paint, like I mentioned. He got in the glass, had a couple blocks, prevented some guys from taking shots when they got in the paint because they saw him there. Like just a lot of things that you want to see him do. He did it tonight, and it wasn't a glamorous stat line, but once again, his impact was always there.
He got his annual tech against the Pacers.
What was that about on Furphy? I saw it at the end of the day. I saw him push him, but I didn't see what happened.
It was the other white boy.
It wasn't Furphy? I thought it was Furphy. It wasn't Furphy?
It was the other white one. Potter, I think is his name.
Micah Potter? Micah Potter used to play here, by the way.
Oh, maybe it was Furphy.
No, Potter's a big man. It was Furphy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
so I still don't know what it was though, because like
it looked like he pushed him.
Right.
It didn't look like he said anything, but maybe he did. Maybe that kid was talking, and Stu was just like, "Yeah, get off me," or maybe who knows. But
I just didn't see it. I was just wondering if y'all saw it because I just on the replay.
Little confused.
I just saw Stu walk up on him and push him. So it may have been something the other way. A lot of times you don't see it.
Exactly.
You see the reaction, but you don't see.
Yeah. I just think the only reason that I was just like, come on, Stu, is because I'm not sure how many techs he has. I don't want him to get suspended later in the season when we need him.
I don't think he has a lot of techs this year, though, to be honest.
Well, I wasn't really like Gobert just got suspended for flagrants, which I didn't realize, let's spread that narrative. Because Stu can't beat Depoy because he fights too much. Well, Gobert is in the lead for Depoy, and he has been suspended already for that. But I'm just curious about how many texts he has because I don't want to pick up stupid ones like that. That's just where I just
did an AI search, which could be 100% wrong, and it says he has around 2 this year. So I don't know if he has that few, but I don't think he's anywhere close to like 10. I think 15, 16 gets you a 1-game suspension. I don't think he's anywhere near that right now. So that could be wrong, but I don't think he has a lot of techs this year. To be honest, I don't. I've been watching that. He's really improved with just his approach to games and with his just keeping his emotions in check. So I think he's gonna be fine as far as that. I was just confused as to why he got one tonight. I was just like, what did he do to make him mad? Because Stu ain't just gonna go out of his way to just find somebody to just push just for no reason the way he did.
My search said 13.
13? Where'd you search? I did a Google AI search.
So did I.
Oh, well, that's why we said they're not always accurate. So if you guys could let us know, y'all could double check for us while we're here. We'll throw it up if you guys can find it.
Just curious because I just want to know if it's something to look out.
I do too.
So
so y'all let us know. But
he has 7. Yes, I'm on a stat page. He has 7.
So that's pretty much in between what we said. Okay, so I said like 2. You said what? 13? That's like 13. Right smack in the middle. So even okay, so he's got 7 right now. We're at the midway point of the season, pretty much right now. We're at 40 games. Yeah. So if you were to get as many,
so last year he had 14 total. So halfway through, he's hit half of what he had.
He's on pace. Yeah, he's on pace. So yeah, as long as he doesn't, because do the ones from the regular season carry over to the playoffs? That's a question I need to get answered.
Yes.
They do carry over. So if you have 14 going into the playoffs and you get 2 more, you miss a game.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
With Draymond Green in recent years.
Heisenberg says him and K both got 6. Man, what's up with all these numbers, bro? Like, okay. By the time we come on the next show, we'll have a number for y'all for sure. All these stats is crazy. Man. Yeah. So hopefully he's able to keep that in check for sure. Gumby 7777. What was his injury recently? Do you mean his last injury?
Why was he out recently for Paul Reed to start? Was it his hip? Was that what it was?
That's a great question. I'm trying to remember myself.
Or his knee, or his
hand? I think it was his leg. It was a leg injury, if I can recall correctly. But let us know. Go ahead. He bumped Stu after the play was dead. So, okay. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, he's okay. All right, come on, Stu. We need you to keep it in check, bro. Don't let these little dudes get under your skin, man. Especially when we up 30 points where we are. I know you're trying to set a tone as usual. I get it, but yeah, if he's at 7, I'm at 7. That's okay. That's fine. For everything he does for us, I'm not tripping. As long as he doesn't get suspended for a game, because we saw last year how much we missed him in the playoffs, right? So we gonna need him for every single game if we're trying to get to where we're trying to get to. So we'll see.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's keep it popping. Let's go to Dennis Jenkins, man.
Okay.
Dennis Jenkins, guys, tonight had 3 points, 1 for 2 shooting overall, 1 of 1 for 3-point, 1 board, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals in 12 minutes, boss. 12 minutes for Dennis Jenkins. What did you see tonight from Dennis Jenkins?
4 assists and 3 steals in 12 minutes. Come on. That's beautiful. Like, that's the most steals. Oh, no, Asar had 3 too. Asar had 3. But both of those guys played low minutes with 3 steals. Just goes again to go to show how he's also a 2-way. 1 of 2 for 3 points. Beautiful. Got a rebound in there. 4 assists. Man, Dennis. He had that really nice lob to Ron and then a steal right after. He's another guy that I feel just like Asar, like when he does good on one end, he does good on the other. Like he's just kind of, it's just a momentum thing that keeps building. So yeah, I personally just would have liked to see more of him, not in like complete garbage minutes, but also not worried about it.
That's what I was looking for too.
He got 12 minutes tonight. I think he's another guy that if something's off with our shooting on Monday, we need to bring him in because he can get the shots he wants, whether it's threes or getting to the rim or his fadeaways or getting, so he can find the right people. So I was just happy to see him tonight, and he took advantage of his minutes for sure.
2 assists and a steal in 90 seconds, boss.
Yeah.
That was what he had when he first came into the game.
Oh,
immediately getting to work, man. I thought Karras was solid, but I just hope we would see more Danis, like you mentioned earlier in this game. But I'm not going to complain. Once again, 40 plus. I'm not going to complain. It's just for me, it's been hard watching him over the duration of the past couple months not get consistent minutes. But like I said, blowout win. I'm not going to argue about it. That's the beauty of having such a deep team, right? When both benches clear, the lead doesn't shrink.
Nope.
When both benches clear, the lead doesn't shrink. That happens more times than not when we have leads. A lot of times when we have deficits, the bench is bringing us back.
Yeah.
Right? And when we don't have starters, the bench is winning games for us. Right. So we've seen our bench do this over and over again. It's just nice to not have to bring our starters back when we bring our bench in. You know what I mean? You see that sometimes when you got guys on the bench chilling, you got a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, they go on a run, and now you're down 7. It's like, all right, we got to bring the starters back. And the coach is pissed. Like, you see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now with this team, we're so talented 1 to 15 that rarely happens. So there's going to be times when guys get squeezed with minutes. I just don't want Danis to be one of those guys because I think we're going to need him in the playoffs as well. I think he's going to be so important in the playoffs. I really do. But, once again, that's the playoffs. So I'm okay if, he's not playing a ton of minutes now, especially for winning these games where we are. I just want to see these guys get the reps. I want to see him and Jaden get more reps, like I mentioned before, just so he can get more comfortable playing with the point guard next to him. So, that's one of the biggest reasons I want to see him. But like I mentioned, our bench is talented in probably 90% of the league.
Yeah.
Right? If not more. So I'm not mad, man. He came in, did what he always does, ran the offense, made good decisions, kept finding the right guy over and over again, man. Like, he knows how to run that offense. He knows where the next play, where the pass is, where the next play is. He knows what to do in every situation. Based on what the defense gives, he's more times than not making the right pass to the right guy, often for a wide open shot.
Yeah.
Javonte Green, wide open shot. Jaden Ivey, wide open shot. Karras LeVert, wide open shot. Like, he just knows where his guys are, and he knows where to get the basketball. He just knows how to play. So, like I said, I'm very comfortable with the ball in his hands. I'm just chilling. I'm not nervous at all when he has the ball in his hands because he's just so under control and he has such a high IQ. It's just fun to watch him play. So, and he's skying up and grabbing offensive rebounds. Like, I love watching him play, man. It's so fun. I'm so happy for him. Just to get opportunities.
We talked about how we wanted, to see him more a little bit. And I do think that he belongs in a 10-man rotation in the playoffs. And that's just kind of, I feel like especially without guys like Chaz and Tolu, like our G League guys weren't even on the bench today. They weren't here I saw a couple questions in the chat. But I think that was the point of JB maybe playing just 10 guys through 3 quarters and then garbage time bringing guys in.
That's possible.
Like Stasser, Jenkins, and Reed. But those are 3 guys that also, like you said, can really benefit us in the playoffs. I was a little bit surprised to see Jenkins low minutes. I was a little surprised by Paul Reed too. I know he was out last time with a personal reason, but he's stepped up. I just don't think, just because the minutes tonight actually kind of reiterated to me how, we've been confused. We were confused last game, how we've been confused about some guys' minutes. It kind of reiterated to me that it is kind of a game-to-game approach right now.
Yeah.
Because we've seen B-Ball Paul play 18 to 20 minutes in games, and Danis playing none. And then B-Ball Paul playing the least amount of minutes tonight. That's weird to me. But I think that's also, it just, again, reiterates that it's just kind of, there was some kind of challenge by JB for our starters to stay in and stay active against a team that they know that they can beat easy. It's kind of like, can your mind stay in it? Can you still play clean basketball?
Yep.
When you know that this is probably going to be an easy walk in the park after a halftime.
Yep.
After 3 quarters. So that's kind of where it's coming from for me. But yeah, Danis is just someone I just want to continue to see. And I do think he is going to be running low on games soon. So if anything, I think that if all we get at the trade deadline is a Danis contract, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's
yeah.
all I want to see.
Yeah.
And Mike, was it Michael or no? Gumby said something we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Jenkins is a better version of Isman. That was what we were saying, bro. Like once Danish Jenkins had that game with 15 plus assists off the bench, becoming the first player since Ishmith to do that. I think back in 2018. That was when we were like, yeah, this is a great comp for him.
Yes.
But I love Ishmith. I actually met Ishmith a few years ago when he was still playing here. Real cool dude, real humble guy, real nice guy. He's hilarious. He's funny. That dude is a comedian. He's funny. But I definitely think that Danis is a better player between the two. First of all, he's bigger. Ishmith is like 6 feet. I met him personally. He's like 6 feet. Listed 6 feet. Danis is 6'3", 6'4". Right? Danis is super duper athletic. I think Ish may be a touch quicker because that was like his biggest strength is just how quick he was. He was like cat quick. But Danis is too. You know what I mean? And Danis is just more overall athletic.
Yeah.
He's just like we saw him get off the floor, like where he's just throwing down ridiculous dunks, 360 women, all kind of stuff, right? And he's a better three ball. He can shoot the ball better. He can spread the floor. Ish Smith was a mid-range guy. And he really wasn't even looking to score. He was just a really good facilitator who in a pinch can get you a couple buckets. Yeah. Right. But his jumper wasn't as reliable, and his three ball was nowhere near as reliable as Dennis Jenkins is. So, if y'all love Ish Smith, there's no way you can't like a Dennis Jenkins, right? Because he's just a bigger, better, more athletic version of him. And that's taking nothing away from Ish, because Ish is a very good pure point guard. But Dennis Jenkins I think he has the ability to be a special point guard in this league. So I think that's a great comp. Something we always talk. And then the defense, I think defensively even too, he can guard multiple spots. He can guard ones, he can guard twos because he's 6'3", 6'4", right? So I just love him as a player. That's why we want to see him get so many more minutes, because we just know what he can do on both sides of the ball. But yeah, Gumby, he had good handles and he was reliable. Exactly. That's what Ish Smith was. That's exactly what he was. I liked having him here on this team when he was here. So great comp. We definitely agree. But yeah, that's all I got on Tink. You got anything else on Tink?
Nope.
All right, cool. Let's move along, guys. Let's go to Sass. Marcus Sasser tonight, guys, had 9 points on 3 for 7 shooting overall, 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, and 1 steal, boss, in 12 minutes. Sass got some minutes tonight. Got some little bump. What would you like to see from Sass tonight?
Look, I love Sass. I love Marcus Sasser so much. He's a guy that, like, it's obviously unlikely that he will be with the team long term, but I love his play, and I've always been a fan of his. So when he came in, I was disappointed in the way he was taking advantage of his minutes. He missed a couple. He had a turnover.
Couldn't get a fall, yeah.
I was like, come on, Sass, let's go. But then he ended up with 9 points and a rebound and a steal in 12 minutes. And so like I said, I will give you your props for coming in slow and then paying it off. So that's exactly what he did. I was just happy to see him out there whenever we get to see him play. Him and Jenkins are always fun. For those of you who don't know, that they grew up together, they're like best buds, they're family basically. So having them on the court together was fun to see. I'm sure one of Jenkins's assists was to Sass. So yeah, I was just happy to see him, because he is, again, someone that we've seen already. He's already had a season high 19 points for us. Like, he's had really good games. He was someone that a lot of the team was talking up preseason. So it's just nice to see him get out there and contribute, no matter what position he's in, whether we're in a close game or a 40-point lead game. He's still out there trying to get his shot up and make the right plays.
Yeah, it was funny. Y'all saw it when he had that steal and breakaway.
Oh yeah,
answer here. I thought he was going to dunk it. Because he's got some bounce. He can dunk the basketball. But he went up, laid it up, left hand. He actually took like 4 steps too, Loki. I was like, what you doing, bro? Come on, man. What are you doing? It was almost like he made a last second decision to just lay it up. But they showed after the layup, you see JD going like this. Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Give us something, bro. Give us something. I thought that was funny. JD trolling him was hilarious. It was nice to see him get some time, to see him get some run. It was just nice to see him out there. See guys getting opportunities. Minutes are hard to come by these days. As far as this question here, Just once again, just going based off of what everything I try to say comes from things we hear from those who have roles and who make the decisions, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always referencing Trajan Langdon, because he's the one that's pulling the trigger. And what he said, Jamal, beginning of the season, is that he wanted guys who had size and defensive versatility, guys who can guard 1 through 3 or 2 through 4 or 3 through 5. He wants guys who can guard, who can switch everything, who can guard multiple spots. And Marcus Sasser, based on what he said, doesn't really fit that criteria the best, right? Because he's a shooting guard who's about 6'1", 6'2". You know, he can't really guard bigger guards. He can try. He's a pit bull, but you can't teach size. What do you have to, it requires double, help defense at times, things like that. So, and because he's a shooting guard, which we already have a few of, I think you mentioned it earlier, we got guys who play shooting guard like Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, Jaden Ivey. We have shooting guards. So I think and those are all big guards. Jaden Ivey 6'4", 6'5", Duncan Robinson 6'7", Karis LeVert 6'6". So, and you got Sasser 6'2", 6'1", he's a shooting guard. So based on what Trajan Langdon has said, I don't see how that fits what he wants. So maybe that's why he's not playing as much, just because of what he's saying. I do think he's a bucket, and at times you do need somebody who can just get a bucket. But I think that's why he hasn't gotten consistent minutes to this point so far.
So I disagree on the reasoning. I think that Sasser brings, yes, of course he can get overpowered by a bigger guy, just like Duncan Robinson can, just like Tobias can let guys past him. I think Sasser's defense is his ability to create steals and create turnovers, which he's done consistently when he's on the floor. For me, I think the reason he's getting less minutes is because he did start the season off after being praised with an injury that kept him sidelined. And then we had guys like Jenkins step up. I think that if we didn't have guys like Jenkins step up, you would see Sass a little bit more. But we've had other guys step up and prove that they can get it done too. So he might not fit the mold that Trajan has discussed, but I do think that he brings equal on his defense to his offense. I think even more equally than Duncan Robinson. But yeah, I think it's just more so he was injured for a while, then just got shorter minutes than the guys that, would come in for that, we would utilize him for, like Jenkins. And even like a guy like Javonte Green, we talked about it. I don't think anybody really expected Javonte Green to get as many minutes as he has, but he's proven that he does deserve them and he earns them. I think Sass had a bigger role in mind coming into the season based off of comments preseason. I think it's just more so the injury and the fact that we've had other guys step up and earn the opportunity as well. And so that's just kind of him.
You think about a guy like Dennis Jenkins, though, he can guard multiple spots. You know what I'm saying? And he's a point guard. So I think that's a big part of it too. It's like because I think it's because Sass is a shooting guard, or he's played shooting guard more than anything. Because once again, Dennis Jenkins is bigger, and he feels a need that we need more, which is point guard. So it makes minutes. Not to say Sasser doesn't deserve to play, but right? It's when you look at the guys ahead of him, based on what Trajan Langdon said he wants. But he doesn't fit that mold as well as those other guys do.
If Sass
he hasn't played as much since he had those 2 games.
If Sass wasn't injured when the other guys were, would we have seen Dennis Jenkins?
Yeah, because for the same reason that Dana Schroeder was brought here last year. You can't just have one point guard. You can't just have a point guard. Like we saw last year when it was just Cade by himself before Schroeder got here, playing 40 minutes a night. Like, that's not going to work. You got to have somebody to back up as point guard. And that's why Dennis Jenkins was so important.
They would have used Sass because they said that's what his position was. If Sass was not injured to start the season, when our other guys went injured and we were low on guys, I don't think we would have brought in multiple G League guys. Like maybe, we would have still brought up Dennis, but he wouldn't be starting over Sass. I'm just saying it was availability that also helped Jenkins. The lack of Sass's availability also helped Jenkins.
I disagree because Sass isn't a point guard, boss. He's not a point guard.
But that's what they were training him to do. They talked about that.
Right, because we didn't have any other point guard. That's my point. That's what they
were training him to do. So if Sass was not injured, he would have been the one starting at the beginning of the season, not Dennis.
Why do you think that though? Because Dennis has been there all year.
Running it through, because the reason that Dennis was brought up is because of our lack of players, including Sass.
I disagree. Because he doesn't fit the mold. I think at some point we would have tried to make sure we have a point guard who can play multiple spots.
I think at certain point, yes, but to start the season, no.
I disagree.
I think Sass gotten the minutes first. I don't think they would have brought up Danis.
I think they would have tried to go with Jaden as the backup point guard when Cade sits down and have Jaden go with a guy like a Karis LeVert or a Duncan Robinson.
That's my whole point. When in the games that Danis Jenkins, like I'm not saying that I'm just saying when Jaden and Marcus started the season injured, then we had a bunch of other injuries that we needed to fill. If Sass was not injured, he would have filled that spot first.
Yeah, he would have had to, because that would have been all we had. But that doesn't mean that he fits what Trajan Langdon wants, boss. That's my point.
I'm talking about the minutes. This man is asking about why he's not getting more minutes, and I'm saying it's because he started off the season injured and he didn't. And then by the time he was back, his role was already filled by Danis Jenkins.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
possible. I'm saying. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yes. So if he had I agree with you. I'm glad we have Danis, and I'm glad we got to see Danis do what he needs to do. And I still would choose, if I had to pick who got minutes in a game, I would choose Danis over Sass. But I'm just saying to start, I think if Sass wasn't injured, we would have seen him get more minutes because Danis would come in. We'd still probably call Danis up, but he would then be back to be the backup to Sass because Sass would have been available. It was about availability earlier in the season. And again, it worked out in our benefit because these guys.
I think it worked out, not for Sass though. I think it worked out with what Trajan Langdon said he wants because Sass was injured. I think it kind of worked out to where we had a point guard who's bigger. Had that not happened, we would have had Sasser playing out of position as a smaller shooting guard. Right. But because he got hurt, it ended up working out to where we had somebody else like a Danis Jenkins who's bigger and plays point guard come in and kind of worked out. I see what you're saying now. I got you. I got you.
I think it was, again, it kind of all fell into place, just like I've seen with my Nuggets. Some of my Nuggets bench guys are popping off because they have to, because that's who's available. Right. And so at that time, early in the season, if Sass was available, I think he would have gotten the first punch instead of Danis. And then who knows how.
For the record, I like both of them. I would, me personally, I like Danis a little bit more because because there is, and this is not even what you're saying, just me personally, I like Danis a little bit more, gives you a little bit more size, and he's the only other true point guard on this team after Cade Cunningham, right? Yeah. We saw with Schroeder last year, he was brought in quickly when Jaden got hurt because Cade had to play 40 minutes because he wasn't getting any help at point guard. So I just like that we have that. That's why I want to see Danis more, because it's like he's a pure point. And when Cade sits down, I trust the ball in Danis's hands nearly, if not as much more as I do in Cade's hands. You know what I mean? Right. So that's why it's a little perplexing for me, but it is what it is.
And that's what I just want to get to this. Sass wasn't hurt when they traded for Dennis Schroeder. True. But I'll keep it up. But in the preseason, if you watch the preseason interviews, they talked about how Sass was being integrated into the system more. He definitely was expected to have a bigger role this year. And so, but yes, I agree with you. I think I don't want Sass to have to, and Sass isn't a PG. Exactly.
Yeah, he's not.
He would have had to play out of position if he was injured. If he wasn't injured, he still would have, I still think that they would have gone to him before Jenkins. But now we see that Sass thrives better at shooting guard. We've seen him play off of Jenkins. So that's just the whole thing. It's like, I know that they had a role expected for Sass. He got injured. If he wasn't injured, I still think they would have tried him in that role, whatever that was. If it was point guard, if it was shooting guard, Stu was giving him lots of props. Cade.
Yeah, they all were.
So but again, because of circumstances, Jenkins got his moment and he's delivered. And they both deliver when they're called upon, truly. But I think we're seeing Jenkins more because he's been healthy longer and we've seen what he can do, and he's earned that spot over Sass.
Yeah. So, let's check out some of these comments. And then we'll keep it moving. That was our daily me and boss argument. So y'all had we had to get that in. Yeah. Had to get that in. Gumby says Jenkins over LeVert. Jenkins over Sasser. Sass is a shooting guard. Yes, he is. Danis has more tools, no question. This one says Jenkins, LeVert, Ivy, Sasser in that order. Interesting. Okay. Jenkins, LeVert. Okay. Jenkins is definitely the only backup real point guard we have, though. I doubt anyone disagrees with that. Yeah, that was a point that We've been making it all year. Like he's the clear cut backup point guard for this team. He's the perfect point guard as far as what you want to see in a point guard as far as how he plays. Let's see what else. Ivy was hurt when they traded for Danis. Sass and Dennis are both positionless guards. I don't know if I agree with that one.
They both have their preferred positions, but they've been flexible to their needs, I would say, to what the team needs.
LeVert was paid to back up Cade and be a creator. Now it's politics and the money. So yeah, so like we said, we like both of these guys. I do think Sass is the naturally better, more gifted scorer, and I think Dennis is the more, the naturally more gifted point guard. Yeah. Right. So yeah,
and I'm glad that we have both of them.
100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. That at times can be situational, right? Like D Davis always says, as far as how that looks. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there, guys. And anybody else?
More, right?
Get to? Oh, Paul Reed, right? Paul Reed. Yes. All right, guys. Tonight, Paul Reed played. What did he do tonight? He had 3 points, 1 for 1 shooting, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, in 10 minutes, boss. 10 minutes for Paul Reed tonight. What'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, 2 turnovers. That's typical Paul Reed. That's like his average, honestly, at this point. Right. But I appreciate him out there. A steal and 5 rebounds in 10 minutes is incredible. To add 3 points on top of that is great. Yeah. I was excited to see him. I saw someone mention, because I had mentioned how I thought that he would play more, and someone did say that he was a game time decision because of his personal reasons. So that I wasn't aware of. I thought that, they had cleared, everything was good, and I didn't realize he was a game time decision. I was mostly locked into the NFL today before game time. So that makes sense to me. Just love to see B-ball out there. And someone else mentioned it too. Everybody that played today got a point. Everybody that played today got a rebound.
Nice.
Almost everybody that played today got an assist, and almost everybody that played today got a steal. So I'll take that.
Which is why the poll was so hard to do tonight.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just the points and rebounds that everybody contributed. So fun. I love that.
I agree. He was cool. He did what he always does. Got the energy from him, offensive glass, things like that. Just doing Paul Reed things like you mentioned. So yeah. And hopefully whatever he was going through is better now. I know he missed last game for personal reasons, so hopefully he's good now. He looked like he was all right at the bench. He got in the game, played a little bit. I want to get to the super chat too from MB Well before I miss it. Says, appreciate you, bro. Says 30 wins this early is a great indicator that this team is heading towards at minimum 54 games. Beating the Celtics Monday night will be yet another huge step. We talked about this when we had King and Eric here, how many games you thought they were going to win.
Yeah, we went to the 60 point, right? Was it over under 60?
Yeah, over under 60. I have him right at 60. King actually said 60 to start not to start the year, but like a few weeks back, he said 60. You said 58.
Yeah,
I think Eric said 55.
Yeah.
So I still think that's on the table, man. We're gonna see when we start playing more of these teams out west. But I think it's a good, good spot to be in. 54, as you guys know, 54 wins was the amount we had when we won our last championship in 2004. So we know it's important to try to get a top spot. That's pretty much guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but we're going to have one of the top 2 or 3 spots in the East at this point if we keep this up. But most importantly, you want to be heading into the playoffs on the right trajectory and the right, having a good rhythm and having everything clicking. So I think you are right there, MB Well. Crazy to have 30 wins already. That's 30 wins in 40 games is crazy. Like we went 3-1 10 times. That's crazy.
Not something that we have, experienced in a decade or 2 decades, basically.
Yeah, decades. Decades is legit. It's been decades for real. Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been just so much fun. And gosh, 10 days away. 10 days away from when I get to see the Pistons and the Nuggets. That will be exciting. But I do think, Monday is a big test. The Celtics, it is at home, and it is a nationally televised game, I believe.
Yep. Peacock.
Well, it'll be a test, but
it's definitely gonna be a test.
I'm excited.
We are 2-1 against them this year. So we can definitely win the season series and go 3-1 against them this coming Monday. And they're second in the East. So if we can get a dub, that'll give us just another game of breathing room up on them. I think we're at 5 on them right now. So definitely, man. And by the way, boss, we talk about Cade and JD going to the All-Star game, very likely. Coach Bickerstaff is going to be there too, as the coach. Most wins, right? I just thought about today. As long as we keep this up.
Is that how they do it for coach?
Oh, yes. It's the winningest coach. Yeah, most wins per conference. Yep. So he should definitely, unless something happens, he should definitely find himself as the coach. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think the only way you don't do it is if you were there the year before.
Which that would be exciting because that guarantees some Caden Duran minutes. Because sometimes when it's other coaches, you don't see some of the guys you might want to see. Like I personally was someone that when we went to the Olympics a couple of years ago, kind of bummed that was it Tatum and Hallie didn't get minutes? Was it those? No, Tatum did. Hallie didn't.
Yeah, Hallie didn't play a lot.
And I was like, you're not going to play them for 3 minutes in the Olympics? Come on, coach.
Yeah, just to let them play. Yeah,
just to do it. But so that would be honestly very exciting because
for sure.
One of them would have to be world team and one of them would have to be home team.
Yeah, that's going to be
well, I guess Shea's world because he's Canada. So I would expect, I guess, OKC coach to be world coach.
Yeah, that's gonna be I don't know how that's gonna look. I don't even know the format of the All-Star game, but if it's Team World versus Team USA,
I'm mad about it.
I don't know, man. Team World look kind of spooky, bro.
I mean, it's I think about the Canadians, Shea and Jamal. You got Jokic, Luka, Şengün. No, it's unfair.
Giannis, Wemby, like, bro. I don't know. It's kind of spooky, man. Like, I mean, we can, put a good lineup out there for the, for USA, but still, man, I'm like. I feel like 5 of the best 7 players in the world right now are on Team World.
Imagine starting on Jokic and then checks in for him and Şengün and then checks in for him Wembanyama. Those are the 3 centers.
Imagine those 3. Like, imagine they put Wemby to 3, Giannis to the 4, and Jokic to the 5. Like, bro, what is this? What is it, bro? Insane stuff. So we'll see. Either way, though, I am looking forward to Coach hopefully, getting there and being there with his guys. So Cade is not by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he was last year, having JD there with him, having coach with him. I think that'd be dope for everybody. So congrats to them, man. They definitely deserve it. So anyway, we'll see how this looks, guys, come Monday when the Pistons do play the Boston Celtics. Hopefully we get it done, man. So that is going to be a wrap tonight, guys, for this show. We appreciate you guys showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Make sure you guys hit that like button, smash that like button, and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night and great rest of your weekend. Everybody be safe. Enjoy your weekend, man. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. And I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King 9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking hundreds, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Look the dog palm, mess around, find out, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like, when you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.